You're supporting local when you support Warchant and all that we do there. Speaking of what that is, today, obviously this show, but tomorrow is Tom and I in the morning, live. Not a recorded, but a live pregame show, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. We will not be doing that from Hotel Indigo. They're sponsoring that. There'll be nobody there on the 7th floor since we're playing at Clemson. You're well aware of that, aren't you? Well aware of that. All-time series record still favors Florida State University after all these lopsided and sorry affairs that we've had in the last 10 years against Clemson. We still lead the all-time series, 21-16. That's how often we beat Clemson for a very, 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 very long time. But, we'll see. We'll see what we get here. I think Florida State's going to go up there and play hard. I do believe that. And we'll see what the folks in Death Valley feel about their Clemson Tigers. More importantly, we'll find out whether or not Clemson cares to play. What you'd really like to see is, I don't know, Florida State go in there and drop the hammer, and all of a sudden you get to revel for the rest of the night in the impending collapse post-game press conference where Dabo will illuminate how awesome he's been prior to this year. And those unappreciative fans, as he'll call them, need to understand that winning's hard in this league, Tom. And sometimes it happens. I've not been great this year, but, last I checked, we won a bunch of championships here. That'll be mentioned again in the press conference.
Sometimes there's a divine plan that we just don't understand, and I think everybody needs to take a breath here and realize that there are greater forces at work at Clemson. And that's, sometimes we just need to embrace that because it sets us up for the next triumph, which will be with a new head coach as I take my talent somewhere else.
Wonder if that is in the works. But anyhow, we shall see where they're at. I think when you go and look at the Clemson folk, I did some reading this morning from Tiger Illustrated and kind of caught up on the guys that cover that team and what they thought was going to happen and who they'd pick. And they all have Clemson winning by like a point. 31-30, 24-21, 23-22, and like just funny scores, but all they have it going as a classic. I read one where 33-27. I don't think either teams are going to get a lot of stops.
Is it a classic or is it a air quotes a classic?
Well, it'll be nerve-wracking if they're right about the closeness of the game because I figure if you're going to be in it, you're going to go up there and play hard, and you're going to give yourself a chance to win a game and get above 500. It'd be cool to go ahead and, cash it in. Go ahead and get that win. I like beating Clemson. I'd like to beat Clemson there again. That'd be cool.
It never really felt like a true rivalry, and in a way it still doesn't because it just turned into their automatic win for the better part of 10 years after when it was important, we would beat them. Always. That was kind of the way it was, and then it just flipped on its head, and it's been annoying. It's never felt like a rivalry where you go, God dog it. This is our rival, and they keep it's just after about 3-4 years of it, you go, this is terribly annoying.
Well, you can only have so many rivals, and obviously we have two in the state that we care about much more. Miami and Florida supersede anything Clemson could ever be, no matter what became of these two programs. And then I would argue from there that, again, because both teams took their time really just lambasting the other for long stretches at a time, you couldn't get to where this festered and fostered some sort of rivalry. If you went back and forth with the conference title on the line several years in a row, we win one, they win one, we win the next one, they win two in a row, we win two. All of a sudden, you'd start to, okay, it's always these sons of bitches, and it just didn't happen because we owned the rivalry, quote unquote, owned the matchup forever until we didn't. And once we didn't, we started taking ass kickings.
Like NC State has taken more away from us in years of expectation than Clemson has. They kicked us when we had little to no expectations or we had fleeting hopes of accomplishing something. Maybe the closest is 2016, but even then we had already been smoked by Louisville, so that team was on thin ice. And I think we lost to North Carolina that year too. But that game felt especially painful, but it's not like you have this Rolodex of memories where you go, oh, man, we really thought we had something and Clemson delivered us an unexpected result, and I hate them for taking that from us. They haven't taken much from us. And honestly, they might think we've taken stuff from them, but in 2013, in one quarter, they understood the hierarchy.
Yes.
And in 14, they started Cole Stout, so that's their own damn fault.
You brought up NC State. It's ridiculous, the all-time series record there, by the way. I'll get that to you in a second. You remember the last time we played NC State?
Was it COVID year?
It was 2022.
Okay. I remember the COVID year because Hockman beat us, and we were lining up 5 yards deep in the end zone.
I forgot he existed.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Lining up 5 yards deep in the end zone. That was either October or November of 20.
Got shut out in the second half. We were up 17-3 at halftime. We got outscored 16-0 in the second half and lost 19-17.
I don't remember that game at all. Yeah. Oh, no, on the road. Of course I do. Jordan showed his ass that night. That was one of his few times where he had issues.
He felt betrayed by his receivers.
Yeah.
And he got angry.
Well, Johnny dropped that fourth down because we were too afraid to use Fitzy. What an interesting career we had with Fitzy. But that was the right play. And then there was
the right play.
An interesting moment with special teams where we had an okey doke on a punt return that was successful. But then there was Mastromano had a chance to run for a first down on a punt, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And he panicked and kicked the ball.
It was a dumb loss. It was a very dumb loss.
That was a hard loss.
It was a very NC State-esque game. It was October 8th, 2022. It was October the 8th. Our all-time series against NC State were 27 wins up, 16 losses. 16 effing losses to NC State. It doesn't make any damn sense at all. And the reason that we're always scared of the game is because all-time, we're 11-10 there. And we had some pretty damn dominant teams.
Yes, and some lucky results. In 14, we were the better team, but that was Jacoby Brissett playing like Neo in the Matrix. You would turn off the video game machine if that's what you saw from the other quarterback. This isn't realistic.
This is what we're going to do?
And then we got super lucky in 16 with Francois because he threw a pick that was dropped.
24-20, we won that game.
And we ended up skating and winning that ball game.
We've lost 3 straight to NC State. We lost 38-22, 28-14, and 19-17. We've lost 3 straight to those sons of bitches. It's just, and we've lost 5 of 6 to NC State.
That feels right. That feels absolutely
We did
correct.
At Doak Campbell Stadium dominate them 31-13. And I can remember thinking,
was that 18?
It was 2019. And I can remember thinking, that's the way it ought to be.
That was one of Willie's wins. Yeah.
But, buddy, that's just, I don't know how we went down that. That's loosey-goosey. Libations Friday. We can meander.
No.
But it's just, it speaks to just our inconsistency and the frustration.
But I suggested something that it feels like NC State has taken more from us. So you would agree. I mean, the numbers say that, but would you agree it feels that way as well?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yes, because we've lost more times when we were the better team and had a chance to accomplish something. That's the problem. Like Clemson has just gone ahead, and usually when we've been bad, they've just been the exclamation point. It's sort of like, we know we're not very good, and there it is. It's 30-7. Okay. You know, it's just like you knew, the score may not end up being that bad, but it's over. And NC State, on the other hand, we've gone in like, all right, we're the better team. Don't screw this up. Oh, here we are. It's tied at 10 in the third. You know how this is going to go. And then it's our famed, did he fumble the ball there, Todd? And then it's, NC State says they've got it. We're going to have to wait until they unpile. And they do. And then here we go. You're like, oh, my God. How many times that phrasing or something akin to that has occurred with me on the couch going, God blankety, and then my kids looking over, and I'm just going, this is why. Why does this always happen here?
I got to tell you, partner, that's the third time tonight Florida State has made minced meat of this defense only to turn it over inside the 15-yard line. That's why they play the games.
Red zone woes for Florida State. I'll tell you, if they lose this game and they're still up 10 here late, but if they that's a kick, and we'll see what NC State has for them. Oh, a little razzle dazzle, and then here we go. They're gonna score. They keep all 3 timeouts. Don't have to kick the. What a game we got here, partner.
Did that go off a Florida State helmet? It did. It didn't touch the ground. It hit his helmet.
And if you go back and look right before that, that ball's going into the waiting arms of a Florida State safety, but he slips. And look at this. We got a game. This place has come alive.
Well, that was kind of the Virginia play before half.
Oh, yeah. I was watching my son's game during our Florida State-Virginia game. I'm sitting next to a fellow Nole, and we're about to take the lead, right? It's 7-7 at that point when we have the crazy interception.
I'm sorry. Were you talking about
Virginia, the 5-yard line? It's 7-9. It's about to be 7-7. And so they get the interception, go down and make it 14-0. So that play.
Yeah.
That play.
The Tommy one. Yes.
Yeah, that play. That's the play. So that play, I'm like, he's looking back at me for updates, and I'm going, oh, we're good. We're on the 5-yard line. And then that play happens, and he sees the look wash over my face. Are you effing kidding me with this?
That's funny. I was not thinking about that play at all. I was thinking about the Jerry Wilson.
No. I'll forever think of the Tommy play because you're going to tie the game. You're going to be fine. But it's the stupidest thing. It's what happens.
It's the physics of the football following him.
Like, oh, look at this. It's just going to go right to him.
If
he didn't take it to the house.
If it happened in the video game, you go, come on, man.
You're like, that is some nonsense.
That doesn't happen to the user. That only happens for the CPU. Come on, buddy.
Yeah. Speaking of that game, I had one of those moments happen for me, Tom, that I laughed my ass off at it because it doesn't normally happen for the user. I'm always poor Army, so I'm frequently in a close game in the fourth quarter.
So you have a quarterback with a poor Army as well.
And I'm just trying to make it work, right? I gave up a touchdown to South Carolina in a non-conference game. I scheduled difficult. I'm going to build them up, Tommy. I'm going to build them up. We're going to go to these tough environments. And anyhow, I got a chance in that game, and this is hilarious. They kick off after taking the lead with 30 seconds left. Does South Carolina? I go 99 to the hizzy.
Oh,
the Red Sea parted on the kickoff return. I'm like, if the computer had done this to me, I'd feel like, come on now. Well, that's pretty brutal.
I'll be honest. The reason I said helmet is I was in a playoff game recently, and a football went off the helmet of my defender as I was hitting intercept.
Yeah. And
it skipped off of him like a golf shot at Augusta on a Wednesday in the practice rounds on the 16th hole, and right into the arms of a waiting receiver for an 85-yard touchdown that we defended properly. And that's what's happened to us as a football program.
When we have these travels.
Oh, well, and especially when the ball's on the ground. There's a fumble. Oh, God, not ours. It's yours.
Florida State basketball tonight, game number 2 in the Luke Laux era. Alabama State, winners a year ago of the SWAC tournament that got them to the NCAA tournament. That was they were a 5 seed when that happened. They stole a bid is what they did by winning the tournament. They lucked out a little bit. The 1 seed got beat by the 8 seed in the opening round, and they ended up having to play Grambling instead of who was it? I think Texas Southern. I have to go back and look. Anyhow, so they got to the NCAA tournament, and they even won a game. And then they got housed by Auburn. And that was that.
Ain't no shame in winning 1 game in the NCAA tournament from the SWAC.
Cool to be there.
That's really awesome.
Really the thing to know if you go into tonight's game at the TLC Double C, where you don't just stroll on in here expecting to get a victory, Alabama State. No, sir. They lost 8 players from that tournament team a year ago. They returned 1 player who started more than 5 games from the team from last year. So it's not this grizzled veteran group that, won a tournament game last year. They lost most of those guys. They had 4 others who were part of last year's rotation, 2 redshirts, 9 newcomers, a lot of transfers, it'll be interesting. They have yet to play. This is their first game.
Well, they're in for a track meet. Let's see what kind of conditioning they have.
Well, that is the question for anybody that comes in here. That is especially true if you haven't played a game yet and you're going to go against this pace. They're one of only 11 teams in the country that haven't played a game yet in Division I. So they're gonna have to hit the ground running quite literally.
I wonder what the total is on this game, because I saw, and you're proud of me now, I'm talking about totals in non-conference early season college basketball season.
Everybody who cares about being a sporting guy or gal needs to be looking at totals for Florida State games early before the book is out.
It was under 150 in the previous game when it opened. I think it closed near 160, but still, keep going. Keep going.
We don't need the world to know about all this. Just keep pounding that over.
That's right.
Until they wake up.
And frankly, we could have dropped 120 if we decided to, or 125, but we pulled back a little bit there in the last 10 minutes.
Run it up, Luke. Run it up. We've got some games out here. Folks they know Vegas isn't on to us just yet. They're still asleep. Let's just get out there. Volume scoring. Here we go.
You got me. Now I'm starting to look.
You're going to have to.
It's an autoplay under what number? 160? 165? Yeah. Are we about done there?
I got to look at Alabama State a little bit closer before I pull the trigger. But yeah, I'm gonna hammer over.
Could be 102 to 57.
Yeah, they don't do their part. Yeah, they don't do their part.
Because Alcorn did shoot the lights out in the first half, especially.
Yeah, they kept it reasonable. I don't know. We did not, by the way, for those wondering, and I think you knew by halftime that wasn't going to go well. That is not a game the NFL wanted you to watch. Holy moly, those two teams owe the country an apology.
Hey, Denver does for their whole season.
In fact, they've gotten awfully annoying. For as beautiful as those uniforms are, they got to stop with this nonsense. I mean, Bo Nix looked like ass last night. And then, of course, the aid of a block punt, they get the game-winning field goal. That was ugly. But you don't apologize for being 7-2 or 8-2, whatever the hell they are, in the NFL. You'll take it. They'll be a playoff team, and they have a great defense. But boy, oh boy, that offense. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. Awful.
Sean Payton, that's all you're going to hear about.
Well, he's winning games, though. I mean, what are you going to do?
It's a great defensive mind.
It's win the games. And they did. I had one of like those 9 parlays hit. I did get one.
All right, there you go. Did it pay out at 9-1?
No.
Okay.
No, it did not make up for the losses.
163.5 is the total for tonight's game. It's like the app was listening.
Well, did it pull right up?
Well, I had to scroll forever. There's a lot of 7 o'clock tips tonight in college basketball. It's probably game 30 in the list. But 163.5 is your total tonight.
Well, we're going to drop 120, so
25.5 is the spread. Perhaps you feel more comfortable with that. If you wanted to play to the under on 163.5, you're taking Florida State minus 25.5, right?
Probably, but I'm not playing to the under.
Okay. Oh, all right. You like an over. The over is more pleasing to your eye, I think. Everybody likes a cut or a draw.
Well, a draw is more pleasing to my eye when
Draws
we play
and overs.
golf.
That's who you are.
But no, I'm not an overs guy because that's the public. I bet plenty of underdogs in a given weekend. But early in the season with basketball, with a team that a lot of people don't know much about, I think you got a chance to cash in on some overs. They'll figure us out. Like, man, they're getting up a lot of shots.
Did I see that right? 47 threes?
I saw there was a women's basketball game the other day. I think it was Cal State Northridge in Bethesda. And
what?
Yeah. Bethesda need not ever play a college basketball game again.
You saw the final score. You didn't.
I didn't watch it. God, no. What do you think? I'm crazy? I'm not watching women's basketball.
You bet on ping pong. I don't know.
No, I didn't bet on this. Ping pong's much more interesting. Than women's basketball. But I watched the ticker, and then I looked it up in the New York Post the next day. Dude, this is criminal. Like, this could never happen. It was 52-0 at halftime for Cal State Northridge. At one point, they led 72-0. Nothing in a basketball game. They ended up winning something like, I got to double check it, but it was like 113-10. What are we even doing out here?
Could have saved that for above and beyond on Monday.
I mean, what are we even doing out here? That's so wrong. I mean, how do you can't let those poor girls go out there equipped as they are, meaning not at all.
Right.
You can't play that.
Yeah, you probably could have found 5 women in the stands to put up more than 0. All you need to do is score a point before they score 72.
Easily.
Can you do it?
Just throw up prayers from beyond the arc that they're not extended. There's that is crazy. That athletic director should be fired. You can't have a team like that. What are we doing?
I'm pretty sure that's a volunteer athletic director at that level.
That has to be a volunteer everything. Volunteer fat girls playing basketball because you can't. What are we doing?
Hey, they could be elderly,
Well, either way, compromised is my point. They got no shot.
It's the back to school university.
It's 72-0. What are we doing out here? You wouldn't even get that if like a high school team played a middle school team.
The game has been delayed because the roster couldn't make it through the metal detectors. Apparently, we've had 4 hip replacements on this team.
It's the silliest thing of all time. All right, we'll get to some Florida State here in a second. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, Noel fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653. Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. That's MillerSeptic.com.
Water is your home's worst enemy. It finds cracks, soft spots, and weaknesses. But not on our watch. At Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing, we're veteran-owned and built different, driven by detail and the pursuit of excellence. We install seamless gutters, underground drainage, and waterproofing systems that don't fail. Because when you live with discipline, water doesn't stand a chance. Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing. Visit guttersolutions.net. With us, it's personal. A roof isn't decoration. It's your home's first line of defense. At GSWP Roofing, we treat every build like it's mission critical. We're GAF Master Elite certified, led by a former Marine. And we don't cut corners. We execute with discipline, precision, and materials that hold the line. Storm after storm, year after year. Repairs, replacements, full installs. This is roofing done by the book. No excuses, no shortcuts. GSWP Roofing. Online at gswproofing.com. With us, you're covered.
License number CCC 1335048.
Feeling sluggish? Wake up your body the right way with Vigor. The all-new Vigor Cold Plunge Tub from Hot Spring Spas is now available exclusively at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Boost circulation, reduce inflammation, sharpen your focus, and more. Elite athletes do it daily, and now you can too. Experience the power of cold therapy in your own home. Come see the Vigor Cold Plunge, available only at Pinch a Penny on Capitol Circle Northeast and Greer Road.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I failed to do the proper thing and introduce the Paramount Sports segment, so you get a double intro. You get me telling you that I failed, and then you get the intro. Here it comes right now. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Means we bring our good buddy Lee Sterling into the show and onto the scene for us to talk some gambling. That's what we do on Fridays. Paramount Sports, that's where it's at. Lee Sterling, how are you, good sir?
Getting by. I just got off with a Nebraska show, and they lost their quarterback, Raiola, for the year, and they lost. So I'm like, well, Dolphins lost again. The Canes lost. But I did cheer myself up, Jeff.
How so?
Had some friends in town. Went to Joe's Stone Crab.
It's a well done to have worked that out. And you had to make yourself feel better because, like you, I also had Miami beating SMU. But alas, Mario Cristobal pulled a Mario Cristobal. Right. And I know we have Miami Wake Forest, so this is a good time to have the conversation. How are things down there now? Because this is the problem, I think, Lee, when you look at Miami. This is back-to-back years when you're spending millions of dollars on a roster. It's one of the most expensive rosters in the game. You went out and got an expensive quarterback, and it's now called, you remember Clemsoning? It's now called Cristobaling. And this is just what they are, and we all know it. I have Miami fans who listen to my show, and they'll be like, Jeff, we disagree on the teams and all that, but you are so right about this guy. I can't trust us. And how are they going to trust him moving forward?
Well, Jeff, who are you going to hire?
I agree. Lee,
so you're caught in between. I mean, here's the problem. His arrogance and combination, I think, stupidity. He's a nice guy.
A very nice guy. I've interviewed him many times.
Yeah, stupidity. So here's my philosophy on football. People are like all the time, well, why is this coach doing this? Most of these guys are glorified gym teachers. Let's be honest. I mean, I'll bet you, if you looked at their grades and the major that they had, Miami used to have a PE major until Vinny Testaverde, until he graduated.
Right.
Guys were PE majors. The best one, you guys have it at Florida State, am I right? Criminology?
Oh, criminology, yeah.
Okay. That's semi-serious. But am I right? Would you say semi-serious?
We could have a whole thing on criminology, sociology, any number of degrees that you can get there. You're like, well, yeah. Well, so you think he's just dumb. I think you may be right, but even if you're not, there's something else there. I think teams, Lee, tell me if you think this is true. You visit a lot of campuses. You go to spring games. You do this. You get to see it up close and personal. I think in this era of football, it is hard to create a through line of culture year over year because you have kids coming and going left and right.
Right.
You portal over players all the time that you brought in from high school. So their loyalty quickly wanes when they see their hard work is not being rewarded. You could just go out and get somebody to replace them the next year. And I think that when things go south or you lose a game you're not supposed to lose, it's easy for these guys when they've already got their money up front this year to just check out. It's hard to create culture.
Agree 100%. Here's the deal. Here's what I would do if I was a coach and I had a talented roster. I would play hurry up. Why? Normal game, there's 8 to 11 possessions per team. If you go hurry up, probably going to get 12 to 14, 13 to 15 possessions. So if you have an interception or two, there is still a very good chance you're going to win the game.
Yeah, more opportunities for the better players.
If I don't have a good team,
slow it down.
I'm slowing it down. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to snap the ball with 1, 2, 3 seconds to go.
Shorten the game.
Less possessions. The other team fumbles. They turn the ball over. A couple holding calls. makes a difference in the game. But these coaches can't figure it out. So they're not geniuses. Like I said, most of them are glorified PE coaches. I bet you at best they got mid to lower B averages, C's, CDs, and maybe a few guys that who knows how they graduated college. Being honest.
Yeah, I think the tempo part of it, though, I love, Lee, because we used to get so mad at Jimbo towards the end. Right. You have a better player at every position. Right. More plays, not fewer plays. Let's separate this. Let's go. Let's let the 4-4 guy beat the 4-8 guy or get as many chances as possible to do it. Right? Yeah, I know.
Even a pick, you can overcome a pick six when you got that many possessions. So, I mean, look when they had Charlie Ward. Look when they had their best. You guys had your best quarterbacks. Miami has never really done it. But if I was Miami, the next quarterback I would go for is a dual threat quarterback. And he's like they got 3 backs. They got the receivers, after the top 2. They got like JoJo Trader. He had done nothing until he caught a touchdown, then an interception goes right through his hands. But you want those guys out in the field, and you want to SMU is mediocre at best.
Oh, by far. Without question they are. Without question they are. Well, okay, so let's get to this game because we got Miami right off the bat. Look, we all know Syracuse got quarterback issues. It's a nightmarish season. They lost their starter. It's gone south for Fran, and they're not a good team. But I would contend that a 3:30 kick in Miami, fresh off a loss, is going to see a half-empty stadium. Mm-hmm. And there will be no atmosphere to speak of, and this will be a boring-ass, just get it over with game. And I'm taking the 28.5. Now, Miami could win by 80 because Syracuse is terrible. But I don't know that Miami cares to be there.
You know what? I'm not giving it to my clients. I rarely play lines like this. I will say something. Did you watch the highlights of the game against North Carolina?
The 39 yards passing?
Yeah. The kid is – I don't think he was recruited as a quarterback.
But I don't think – is he going to start that kid again?
I think he might.
I don't know, man.
Well, if he does, I mean, I'm going to wait and see what happens. If he starts –
didn't bet Miami,
He is a good lacrosse player, ranked 25th in the country, the 4th defenseman. I checked that. Yeah. So, maybe he wants to do both. Congrats to the kid, but the kid is a walk-on here. And even
so find out if he's going to start, Lee, because we can't take the game if he doesn't, right? I mean, if they start the other kid, then we got a different game.
Maybe. I'll take Miami, toss up here. Think they win the game 41-7.
I'm glad you said you're not giving it to your clients, though, because this is a stay away for me as well. Look, I've got a similar situation going on in Clemson, South Carolina. They don't win home games anymore against Power 4 teams. The team appears to be tuning Dabo Swinney out. His press conferences are hilarious. He just likes to remind everybody how great he's been over and over and over again after each loss. If they care to play, Clemson is a terrible matchup for Florida State because they can stop the run. Yeah. If we could pass, if we had a drop back pass game, I would take the Noles on the road. But I don't feel good about it. I am hoping Clemson doesn't care to be there. Something tells me they will on a Saturday night with that uniform coming out of the tunnel. It may stir something. Clemson -2. What do you got?
So you're playing the due to show up theory here, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
if they show up because, I don't think Duke gets their attention. I don't think SMU gets their attention. Right. I don't think Syracuse got their attention. Florida State is Florida State, just like Miami's Miami. When you run through the tunnel wearing that uniform, you have people's attention.
Okay. So I only played on one 5-5 team. I was lucky to play on some really good teams. Played on that 5-5 team. And I remember that year we had talent, but there was fighting. The practices were awful. It was a disaster. The coach wanted out.
Culture issues. Yep.
We knew it was his last year. I think Dabo is going to work a buyout out.
I do too.
Think he's going to go. If I had to take a guess, he's going to Auburn. He needs a challenge.
He played at Alabama.
I know. These coaches and players don't care anymore.
I mean,
I couldn't do it. He's not going to Penn State. He's not going to make the mistake that Brian Kelly made.
No.
He wouldn't fit there.
No, he wouldn't fit there.
That Southern charm ain't going to work up there.
I don't think you're wrong. I think Auburn could be in play here. Are you giving the 2 or not?
I'm taking Florida State.
Wow.
I think the defensive line is a bunch of underachievers. So they're gonna have 3 guys drafted in the top 2 rounds, but they don't play up to their potential. I just can't play a coach that I think is gone. I'm taking Florida State here. I think they win this game here, 28-24.
Well, it's a fair take. I've said all week long that if I'm going to pick it straight up and think that both teams care, I'm taking Clemson to win comfortably.
Right.
But I admit they may not care. It could be a dumpster fire, and Florida State would win. Texas A&M has arguably the best offensive line in the country. They're giving 7 to a banged up Mizzou team. Do you lay it?
There's some lines now down to 6.5. So I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. This kid, Matt Zollers, quarterback from Missouri, I'm going to project he's a first rounder, 2029. Wow. Kid has a live arm. Big, strong kid. Think he's going to be great. But the problem here against Texas A&M, not a dual threat quarterback. You need a quarterback that can move around and run some. He can't do it like Bo Probilla could do it, who's out for the year. He also stares down his receivers a little bit. True freshman quarterback. But his top target, Brett Norfleet, game time decision with a shoulder injury. The next 4 receivers average only between 8 and 12 yards of reception, whereas the top 2 guys at Texas A&M, Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion, average between 15 and almost 19. Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz, head coach. I think Florida's considering him. I don't love him. I think he's good for like a Missouri program, but 0-6 versus top 10 teams. I don't think their talent is good enough unless they get a bunch of breaks here. And when A&M played LSU, Marcel Reed threw 2 interceptions in the first half, and they still overcame it, won by 20. A&M may lose, but not this week, 28-17.
We're on the same side there. Alabama laying 10 to the LSU program that fired their head coach. Does LSU get a lot of times when a bad guy leaves, and Brian Kelly's a bad guy, are they going to play hard, or Bingo. Are they just not any good?
Bingo, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Guy like Billy Napier, James Franklin, they playing hard anyway.
Yep.
Brian Kelly, I think they like the interim coach. The administration, I hear, is reaching out to welcome back the alumni and the fan base. Brian Kelly was a bad guy, just not a good guy at all. And I think they're going to let it all go. Remember, rivalry game. Say it 5 times. It's a rivalry game. The raw numbers for LSU are terrible. 25 points or less in every game offensively. 124th in rushing out of 136 teams. The teams below them played pretty much midweek this week in action. They're that bad. So I think Alabama's good, but they're not close to where they were when they were winning national titles and playing for titles. I know they won 5 straight ranked opponents, but their passing game, which is their strength, goes against LSU's strength, which is pass defense. Alabama escapes. Remember, it's a rivalry game, 30-24. I'm taking the points.
Fun game. Bucks, Patriots, another fun game. Great weekend in the NFL. A lot of pivotal matchups. You're in a situation here where you have division leaders from opposite conferences. Bucks coming off a bye, but still really beat up. You like the Bucks here, -2.5, or are you going with the Patriots, who've been a fun team? By the way, if you look at the Patriots' schedule ahead, if they beat the Bucks, they're going to be 10-2 at one point. This is going to be pretty scary. They could win that division.
I'm going to take a different approach. Going to play the total here. All right? So here's why. Patriots play least important game of the year, non-conference road, and against good run-stopping defenses that blitz, this is what they're going to face. Drake May is here. So I do think that they're going to throw the ball early and often. New England hasn't really generated any consistent pressure here against opposing passers. Their last 4 wins have been against, get this, 32nd ranked, 31st, 30th, and 28th in scoring offenses here. I think both teams just sit back. Baker and Drake May, they let it fly here. I think Tampa Bay wins 31-28, but I like the over 48 total points, the best.
Fun game. Your game of the week is Georgia, who's on upset alert because Mississippi State has been game at home. 7.5 is the number. How do folks get that game, Lee?
Just call 800-400-9741. Again, the number, 800-400-9741. You want to get Georgia, Mississippi State on me. Big weekend here. Paramount Sports. You like the UFC? 6 selections, $6. That's right, a Super Saver card. We do it once a year. 6 selections Saturday afternoon, starts at 4 o'clock, $6, $1 a selection. Not November, call it Dovember. You can get every game on our phone service through the end of the month. 4 weeks of action. If you use coupon code SAVE200, just $297, works out to a little over $80 a weekend. And we're fired up about this weekend. Going to try to keep it going here. Went 4-3 Saturday, 3-2 Sunday. Hit both action games. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
Always a pleasure, Lee. You have a great weekend, brother. Be well.
Okay. You too, bud.
Take care. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us every Friday. Appreciate him doing it. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A Leon High School student was arrested Thursday on battery charges. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Highs level off around 82 this afternoon under mainly sunny skies. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 64 and foggy tonight. Cloudy skies expected. Slight chance of thunderstorms with fog early tomorrow. High of 82, a mix of clouds and sun. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 78.
It's its most tempting treasure. Fresh farm-raised oysters and clams. Plump, salty, and delicious, this bounty of bivalves makes any dish, whether grilled, baked, or fried, a little nautical, but nice. Sustainably harvested, these mouth-watering mollusks are available year-round. And with a flick of the wrist, a squeeze of lemon, or a splash of hot sauce, they turn any meal into a celebration on the half shell. To see what fresh Florida farm-raised oysters and clams can do for you, visit freshfromflorida.com.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Wow, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct, yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And you still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Jeff Cameron Show rolling on. Our appreciation to Lee Sterling joining us every Friday. Mom, next hour. I think she got 2 of 3 from me this past weekend. We got to double check that, but I think she did.
That sounds correct. One of those was Denver, I imagine, right? Because that's just all they do is win close ones.
Was that who'd they play last week?
The Texans.
Well, I didn't know they were going.
Yeah, she got the Broncos and the Bills, and you got.
I didn't know they were going to concuss C.J. Stroud, so that's
you
a
got
toughie.
You got Chicago in the wild one over
Woo!
Cincinnati.
I'll tell you what, that was something, to say the least. Hey, I wanted to point something out. Did you watch USF last night?
No, but I'm well aware of the circumstances of how that game started, and I think the people should know because it is crazy.
So they're up 14-0, and they haven't run an offensive play.
That's right.
They're up 14-0. They have not run off. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I certainly don't remember ever seeing that before. And I don't remember if I have seen it before, a game in which you lead 14-0 and the other teams run 20-plus plays to your none. 22 plays to none, and you're up 14-0. That's crazy.
And did I read the drive summary right that they were punted to the third time and they fumbled it? And then UTSA kicked a field goal?
It hit the back of a guy's heel. He didn't get the Peter sign. And, yeah, they won 55-23. You know, if you look around the state of Florida right now, Miami is disappointing for all the money that they've spent, and they are on the outside looking in again. Florida State is what we are. And, obviously, Florida fired their coach and continues to lose games. Freaking USF is the hope in the state right now to perhaps, still a lot of work to do, make the college football playoff from this state. Now, I'm not the wave the state flag guy, but I'm saying that if you're looking at it that way, UCF stinks. They've got to beat Houston tonight to have any shot of going bowling because they've got to play BYU and Texas Tech. That ain't going to go well. So they got to get their fifth win tonight, and then they have one other game. They're hosting Oklahoma State. And so they could get to bowl. They could go bowling in Scott Frost's first year back. They have 70-plus new players on that roster. So that wouldn't be the end of the world if that happened for them. But they got to win. They got to beat Houston. So we'll see. But USF, and I brought this up at the beginning of the year when we were kind of going through and talking about teams. USF's never won a conference championship of any kind anywhere. They've never won a conference championship. Now, we all recall at one time USF was ranked number 2 in the nation. That year they ended up in the Sun Bowl. I mean, they were number 2 in the nation. We forget what happened. It all fell to pieces. They cracked the top 10 the next year. They ended up in the St. Petersburg Bowl, which later became the Beef Brady's Bowl.
Yeah,
that's right. They once, over a 3-year stretch, went 19-5, and yet in none of those years, in that 3-year stretch, did they win the conference. So not the Big East, not the Conference USA. They've never won it. Conference USA to the Big East to the American, yet to win a league title. They have a roadmap currently to win this league title, and because I like Golesh and I kind of like the way that team plays, I'm rooting for them to do it. There was a time where they needed to go back into their hole. That's not this time. They're finally going to build a stadium on campus. I like their coach. I think it's a good story. We'll see. I'm pulling up their schedule here. They're within reach. That dream is within reach. They've got UAB and Rice. Those should be 2 easy wins.
Yep.
They're on the road against Navy, and that is a problem. And we'll see. If they get to the conference title game, that's the only other game that's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah, and that likely is Memphis. But tonight's game between Memphis and Tulane is
interesting game.
Implication laden. Yes.
Well, when they choked that away, man, that hurt.
Are they still home stadium for their conference championship game?
I believe so.
Well, that would be huge if Tulane were to win tonight. That gives USF a path to host, right?
I just can't believe they blew that game against Memphis. I'm sorry, I'm coughing right. I'm that incredulous.
One thing I noted, if you need a slight break here, is because you were speaking about the state.
Yeah.
I was driving around town last week and listening to the Florida-Georgia game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Now that Huber is gone, that's actually a decent crew. I know, but I say that about the Braves as well. I say it about other rivals.
The Braves crew is amazing.
They're fantastic.
No, I could listen to them.
The crew was good. I got to give them credit. There was the replay review on the drop. They didn't complain. They said, there's no visual evidence that can help us here. That's terribly unfortunate, but I don't think it's going to go the other way. They called a good game. They've called a lot of losses this year, but they call a good loss.
I don't know if anybody, we monitor this with obviously the team we cover in Florida State, but I do it too with Florida right now. To me, he's done irreparable damage to his future at UF at quarterback. That has been something to behold. And you go back and look at all of the throws that DJ Lagway refuses to make. because he's going to get hit. And that's one of them, by the way. Stop and plant your feet and throw the ball.
Oh, well.
Here's the thing.
You're giving me Miami game flashbacks.
You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. And this is why quarterbacks get all the praise and all the blame, fair or unfair. But here's the deal. If you're a big-ass quarterback, and he is a big-ass quarterback, you cannot be out here twinkle-toeing this thing. You got a guy running wide open. That's a touchdown if you can get something on the ball. But he knew, he did the math. The defender's here. I'm here. He's coming here. If I stop, 100% he's going to crush me. But I also will get everything I can on this ball, and it's a walk-in touchdown. So I have to make the decision. And his decision was to keep running and try as hard as he could to throw it, and he ended up being way short. And he does it all of the time. Now, if you're a Florida fan, you'd say, well, he's been beat up. Yeah, man. He's a shell of himself. That dude isn't taking the next step.
So you're saying it's not good form to throw off your trail leg like you're letting go of a runner in the lane.
That's correct. I am saying that. I am saying sometimes as a starting quarterback, you got to plant your feet and take a shot to make a play. The best ones do. They hang in there and they know they're going to get hit and they let it fly. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
You need the plumber quick. How long is an acceptable time to wait?
Hey guys, we really need you over here. My toddler just flushed a whole bunch of toys down the toilet, and everything, and I mean everything, is backing up.
2 hours?
Hey guys, just checking in. The water has reached the hallway now, and it's getting pretty deep. Can you get here anytime soon?
4 hours?
Hey guys, can you please hurry? Now my wiener dog is doing the backstroke over here, and they're not known to be strong swimmers. Hey honey, grab his life jacket.
8 hours?
Oh, so now you're here.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. Our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. And now M&L Plumbing can also be your go-to for all septic tank pump-out services. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing. Your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or online at mnlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachia Parkway.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel-tip boards and soft-tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Real Talk 93.3 and the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce proudly welcome this month's newest chamber members. Businesses making a difference right here in our community. Ben Clark CPA and Advisory Services LLC, Janney King of Tallahassee, Preferred HCM, Ronald McDonald House Charities of Tallahassee, Smalls Sliders, Theater Tallahassee, and Tallahassee Pulmonary Clinic PA. Thank you for investing in Tallahassee and growing local with the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce. Find out more about chamber events and membership at talchamber.com.
Hey everybody, this is Greg Tish, and I want to personally invite you to join us each and every weekday morning right here on Real Talk 93.3 for the Greg Tish Show. We have the best guests in Tallahassee. We play the funnest games like Give Me a Second, the movie clip game, and everybody loves a food segment every weekday morning at 6:45. So start your day with Tallahassee's morning show, the Greg Tish Show, right here on Real Talk 93.3.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show, live and local on Real Talk 93.3, WVFT. Greta, Tallahassee.
Your Sports Flash update on Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
Not looking great for the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. He missed practice again on Thursdays. He's currently dealing with an ankle injury. Seems unlikely that he will be able to play when they visit Houston coming up on Sunday. Other action this weekend, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they host New England, and the Dolphins are getting ready for a game against Buffalo. College football this weekend, Florida State, they are back at it as they are going to match up against Clemson on Saturday. Florida's got a game against Kentucky. Miami plays Boston College. Tonight, Central Florida is in action as they are going to take on Houston. And South Florida football yesterday beat Texas San Antonio 55-23. A week from Saturday, they'll play on the road against Navy. This Sports Flash is presented by Progressive. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo insurance and save with Progressive. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
Barry knows school, he's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows school, he can put them to the test. Barry knows heating and conditioning, keeping you comfortable. Is what Barry does best.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barry knows heating and air conditioning.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon, there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials, too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Possible. So appreciate that very, very much. Speaking of making things possible, let's begin this hour, Tom, because we sometimes maneuver about the day and we kind of come and go with some of the fix positions. We need to make sure we get a red zone in with my man Adam Tolliver today, and get to rolling here. I don't know that. I really don't know that you're going to have 4 questions ready to go for this game this time. But I respect your on-the-fly game, first, second, third, fourth down. I do want to remind you, Artisan Financial Strategies, if you want to cue it up, please go ahead.
Welcome to the majesty.
Every freaking rep.
The elegance.
To win the game.
You have entered.
Someone burn down the funeral home! You burnt the funeral home!
Lives will be changed.
Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Mothers will cry.
When you see your players get all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough.
Legacies are etched into eternity.
I know who I am.
North, South Dakota was his brother from West Virginia.
This is the Red Zone.
That's good to know.
30-plus years of planning experience at Artisan Financial Strategies for your retirement plan, your retirement red zone. You want to reach out to my man, Adam. He has helped many a Nole. He is a fellow Nole. He cares deeply about this. His expertise is much appreciated. I enjoy picking his brain myself. They're prepared to help coach you to victory in the red zone, the retirement red zone. Make sure you reach out to Adam and all of the resources they have at Artisan Financial Strategies. Tom, first down, what are we doing?
First down, do you believe it likely that Sam Singleton has the most carries for Florida State on Saturday night?
Oh, good God. How can anybody predict that? Sure.
Okay. All right.
Sure. I mean, he had a good game, so it would stand to reason you'd give him an opportunity to follow up on that.
Here's what's funny. There was a moment in the press conference, I believe it was Wednesdays, Mike Norvell talking about Sam Singleton, and he said, the thing I love about him is no matter how many touches he gets, he's the same guy. So you never know. Like if it's a different week and he doesn't,
Oh, you thought he was
thinking to myself,
way?
Are you telling me that this is not going to be Sam Singleton week?
Is this a Chroma day? Is it a Sawchuck day?
Could it be Roydell Williams? He's listed as probable.
Yeah,
and so is Cam Davis. Could it be a Cam Davis day?
It's not going to be a Cam Davis day. There are no Cam Davis days.
You never know with this crew.
They don't exist.
They rotate the backs like it's 2024.
And we thought that nonsense was over.
It is not. In fact, we should probably take a look at the splits.
It's pretty amazing. Week to week, we see, you see a guy, you're like, why is he out there? What is going on? And listen, I like Sam Singleton. I just could not have guessed we were going to come out of the bye and use him.
It has been the Gavin Sawchuck show this season by and large. It's 93 carries. Then it's Tommy C with 89. But if you go to running backs, then it's Chroma at 49. I think we all would have expected it's more than 49 carries.
At this point.
At November?
Well, he's already shown some flashes, too, of really heady stuff. He's a strong guy. I think the fumbles caught up to him. I don't know what was at the root of why he was only on the field for, 13 plays in the last game? That's odd to me.
And if you think 49, that's a healthy amount. Well, Singleton is 29. That feels like a lot. If you're just in your head replaying the season, like, Singleton's got 29 carries?
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Lucas with 18, forgotten man. And let's see, Roydell all the way down there at 7 carries for Roydell Williams.
Is Jalen Lucas healthy?
I think so.
I mean, what?
Jalen Lucas is often pissed. He's on the field angry that the ball doesn't come his way or that his one opportunity, nothing happens because there's no blocking in front of him or some such thing.
It's really quite something. Anyhow, all right, second down.
Second down, Florida State will resemble its Alabama self or its road football self more tomorrow night.
Well, obviously, I picked Clemson to win. I think I picked it 38-14, so I think it's the latter. I am not hedging, per se, because I don't care if I get that right or wrong. I'd rather be wrong and get it to where I shouldn't say I don't care. I want Florida State to win the game, so I'd love to be wrong. But, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde nature of all this for these two teams make it very difficult to predict, admittedly. And so if Clemson's going to go through the motions, then I could be really wrong, and Florida State could go and win, as everybody else has in their stadium. But if they care, and they really care about being their best selves, I think it's a bad matchup for Florida State.
Third down, I think I know which guy you're going to pick because you default to this person, but more impactful in tomorrow's game.
Certain tight end?
Or
Mm-hmm.
Mekhi Danzy.
The tight end.
Okay. All right.
Pittman.
What are we on, fourth down?
I don't love Danzy's going to be great. He's going to be a lot of fun. He's got all kinds of potential, obviously. He's not polished as a receiver at all right now, both from a route running standpoint and a clean catching standpoint. He doesn't catch the ball cleanly very often. He's made some spectacular catches.
You're going to get 2 or 3 shots at him tomorrow. The question is, does he catch 1 or 2 of them?
Spectacular plays. His speed is otherworldly. It's cool to watch, and he's made some whoa moments happen for us this year. And I'm very excited that he's part of the future because I think he's only going to get better. That's a recent thing for him at receiver. So I'm not faulting him. It's just that he's not a clean receiver yet, both from in and out of his breaks, catching the ball. When you double catch as much as he double catches, it's problematic.
Is it fair to say, before I ask the fourth down question, that if you're ranking Florida State's most consistent defenders this year, your top 2 are Rawls and Darrell Jackson?
Well, Darrell Jackson would be number 1.
Okay.
Darrell, when you go back and watch him, he's played well.
Yeah, I mean, he's had to eat up 2 or 3 bodies.
That's what he does. It's his job. He's a gap specialist. He's just one of these guys that just swallows people, and you've got, other guys are supposed to come up and make the plays when you've got a guy who's a mass of humanity.
Let's assume that Jabril Rawls is the other most consistent player. All right, so for fourth down, who on the defense is going to be your third best player tomorrow?
That's on third down.
That's Houdini in a straitjacket.
That is tough. Joseph?
Okay.
Joseph?
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's got his head on straight and they've got everything worked out, Joseph. It's not, I don't ever pick the linebackers.
Nicholson's made a few plays of late, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Those are the 4 downs.
It's not a great group.
Percentage chance, fifth down, that Squirrel White has more receiving yards than punt return yards.
What precedent do I have to suggest that he's going to have more receiving yards?
How about percentage chance he has more catches than catches in the punt game because he could fair catch 3 or 4 tomorrow?
Yeah, I would like to know why we struggle so much to get him the ball. Because even when he's open, man,
I think he would like to know as well.
Well, even when we get open, that poor bastard's overthrown by 30 yards. It's like into the stands.
You should probably have, based on routes, can we ask, this is his senior year. That's what's sad. I would have asked for a shirt a month ago. Based upon his routes and separation, expected targets, catches, and yards. Can we get Amazon Web Services on that?
I desperately would love to know what that is.
It's probably decent.
Man, look, so you've got Squirrel White, LaWayne McCoy, Micah Danzy, and Deuce Robinson as your main contributors in the passing game. Randy Pittman, a tight end.
Which is not bad.
No, on paper, it's not bad. Their production isn't what you would want consistently. They've had some wow moments. Deuce is great. Obviously, Deuce has been good. He has nearly 700 yards already this year. He's got a good chance to go over 1,000 yards. We'd be happy with that. Danzy has wowed us, especially early, but not as much as we've gone along. I'm shocked that he has 21 receptions. I'll tell you that, but good for him. Squirrel White and LaWayne McCoy. Of those 2, LaWayne's actually the one on the rise.
Yeah, Tommy finds him late a lot. Now, there are some things in rhythm, but Tommy will find him late.
Well, Tommy's late about a lot of things when it comes to the passing game.
More than just back the wrong shoulder.
Yeah.
As in scans the field, like, oh, there's LaWayne. Let me go dump it off to LaWayne.
But I like LaWayne. He's becoming a little bit more dependable.
He is. I think, honestly, if this was a pass-first offense, you'd feel pretty good about your array of weapons. And for Florida State in the last 10 years, we haven't had as many cores that are around this level where you say 1 through 5, including Randy Pittman. You got some real guys to work with here.
How many carries did you say Sam Singleton has on the year?
29.
Yeah, well, 14 of them were last week. So there you go. I mean, it was sparse prior to that.
It was, but still, he's, in a way, I know that there's a 20-carry separation. It feels a little closer than it should be with Cromah and Singleton, based upon the way I remember. I'll just speak for myself. The way I remember the season, like, man, feels like Cromah's had 65 or 70 carries, but not. He hasn't touched 50 yet.
The reason I'm asking you about the running backs, and I'm asking you just in general, is we've hammered this point home. I've just alluded to the fact that I think this is a bad matchup for Florida State. If, big if, Clemson wants to play. They care. They're invested. They're locked in. They're focused. Effort's 100% there. They're physical. They're all the things that they can be. The reason for that is they are a top 20 run defense. They get stops in the running game. Everything Florida State does is predicated on the running game, opening other things up. They've got two guys who are, studs when it comes to tackles for loss, Sammy Brown being one of them. They got guys now. And if you can't get this run game going early, Tommy's not 100%. He's not opening up the other aspects of the run game the way that you need him to, because he's really not a threat to run right now. Not in the way that you need him to be, like an electrifying difference maker that has to be accounted for. And he's not a good enough pocket passer. So you just, if they're going to stop the run, you're going to have a long night. And I'm just curious, Sawchuk, Singleton, Lucas, Cromah, name them all if you'd like. Who's going to be the guy that steps up here? And interestingly, I think it would be Cromah, because you need to find out whether they have any want to left.
Yeah.
And if you're going to run anybody that's going to test somebody's manhood, it's Ousmane Cromah.
Yeah.
That's a dude now. If you're half-stepping, if you're pussyfooting, you will not bring him down. That's a 5 to 6 yard gain every time.
Yeah, the number one concern with him is just he stays up so long that he might get the ball punched out. But that comes with what you're speaking on, which is he refuses to go to the ground.
He's a tough dude, man.
And it's not like Sawchuk runs soft either.
I'm not calling the other guys soft. They're just different
not.
style runners. No, I just want the audience to know. I Sawchuk is 5'10". What is he? 200 pounds?
Yeah, about. Maybe a little under.
He's a tough kid. I mean, I like him. But, yeah, man.
Ousmane runs at a little bit different physical clip. And so does Roydell, for that matter, even though we haven't used him at all. But if you're just trying to bruise, and let's say you do get in a 3rd and 3 and you want to call 2 runs, yeah, I'd be fine with giving it to Cromah or Roydell.
Well, Cromah, there's a whole lot of what for with that kid, man. You look at him, he's built different, as the kids say. And, he's 220-plus pounds and just gets you some.
And if you can do that, that sets up to take advantage of Clemson's weak secondary. And on the passing side of things, here's one fun stat for you. What do Cromah, Sawchuk, and Jalen Lucas all have in common, other than the fact that they're listed as running backs? They all have more catches than Squirrel White this season.
Well, I mean, the Squirrel White thing, I don't know.
It's 7, 9, and 6 catches, respectively, for those 3 players. Squirrel has 5.
Yeah, 5 receptions for Squirrel White when he was considered to be such a huge part of this offense. That the whole question with him is, are you healthy? And the Alabama game seemed to answer it. He was a blur. He makes the big play. You're like, there it is. That's why you were brought in.
That was 20% of his catches for the season.
It was a big deal at the time, though, because you stretched the defense. You changed the way that they approached each play from that point forward, because you knew that you had the lid lifter. And he's had 4 catches since. It's toughy.
I would have expected those numbers from Gavin Blackwell from North Carolina. At this point, you're at November 8th tomorrow.
Well, health issues coupled with a quarterback that has missed some wide open throws to him. I mean, Tommy's missed wide open throws to everybody once in a while. That's the inconsistency that drives you nuts. He makes plenty of plays. So you're like, okay, well, that's a great play, but he misses some guys. But, man, for whatever reason, those moments when Squirrel's wide open is when that ball is going to get uncorked.
It's the sad music from the Charlie Brown specials. When he releases.
Just show it.
And then there goes the ball over his head.
Squirrel's like, where are we going here? Which is a problem, because Clemson has one of the worst passing defenses in the country. They're 104th in the nation. They give up 244 yards a game via the air. They don't stop people from throwing the ball. That's not our modus operandi. We also don't have a sophisticated passing game, so I don't know if we can take advantage of it. Maybe.
They're good at stopping the bubbles. Everything else, not so much. You get them in a third and a fourth, they panic. They don't trust their training, as a coach would say.
Yeah.
You get them in one-on-ones, they will find a way to screw it up. But on early downs, you want to go vertical. And if you do that a little bit in this game, you might break their confidence, especially up front. If you ever broke their confidence up front, we'll drop 35 or 40 tomorrow.
Oh, that would be fun. And I would love it. I would be so happy to be wrong. I would race to the studio on Monday to say, hey, man, that Clemson team has quit. How about that? Way to go, Knowles. I mean, again, my lopsided prediction is based on this idea that they're going to care about showing up to play hard against Florida State and that it's a matchup issue. I could be really wrong about that. I don't know. That's where it pays to be local. If you're there covering the team and you get the stories that come out of a descending locker room, you get the stories when things begin to spiral, then you know. It's like we knew before the national media knew that Florida State was done. There was a certain time in Jimbo's time here where we were like, oh, boy, it's happening. I mean, hell, not only did I predict that we'd get blown out by Louisville, I also thought we'd get beat badly by that Boston College team that night because we just knew they didn't care to be there.
Yeah, I remember. I think we were on YouTube at that time, and we were getting screamed at for being so negative about the Boston College game. We're like, guys,
they don't care.
They don't want to be there.
They don't want to be there. Yeah, but that's where being local helps. Like,
well,
I'm not in Clemson, South Carolina. I don't know what reports are coming out of those practices.
But here's an indicator of people who would care about that information. The betting line is down to 1.5.
Yeah.
So essentially what Vegas is telling you is right now Florida State would be
favored on a neutral field.
Which tells you what?
Well, yeah, I agree.
That there is some noise in the system.
But I don't need Vegas to tell me that. I'm watching the games. They got 5 losses. And they keep losing at home. And a coach looks unhinged.
Well, but that's telling you that during this week of preparation, it hasn't gotten better.
Yeah.
You're correct. Local knowledge or not. Local reporters, local radio hosts or not.
Let's find out when they take the field. It's going to be loud. The fans will be great. They always are. It'll be deafening in there. You need, I say this too often because this is the state of our program. You need something good to happen early. You need Clemson to fall into here we go again mode. Because bad teams that are playing poorly and that are apt to fall back into bad habits tend to do so the second you give them a reason. They're not fighters. They're like, oh, well, okay. So this week is going to be just like last week. That's how it works. And if you can get, that starts to happen and that momentum gets rolling, yeah, maybe it'll happen. All right, Mama, time to wager. My lead is down to 7. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Can we talk about the most important things in your life? Your family, your friends, your home, and enjoying the time you spend together. You sure don't want to have to think about whether everybody's going to be comfortable. You want Tony Kelly to make sure everybody's comfortable. That's what Tony Kelly does, and that's what's most important for the entire Tony Kelly team. Their prompt, professional service and attention to detail, they're famous for it. Focus on what's most important to you and let Tony Kelly Heating and Air keep everybody comfortable.
Stay comfortable and stay focused on the most important things with Tony Kelly Heating and Air, committed to serving you and your family with exceptional service, skilled technicians, and reliable high-quality work. Go to TonyKellyInc.com to find their full range of HVAC services, including repairs, installations, inspections, and maintenance. TonyKellyInc.com or call 850-385-3774.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch a Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
Honey, what are these mushrooms in our yard? Portobello?
Huh, let me take a look. Oh,
Shiitake.
I don't know, but our septic system is failing, and our whole yard smells like
Should we try to cook these up and eat them tonight?
This is bad, Sheila.
Well, we better fix it soon, or we're going to be in deep...
Sheila, look, it's Crud Septic. Our prayers are answered.
Call Crud Septic Service today. Pump outs, installs, repairs, crudseptic.com. That's crudseptic.com.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
Game day in Tallahassee starts with energy, and nothing fuels that spirit like Grassroots Coffee brand new End Zone Blend.
That's right. Every cup of End Zone Blend doesn't just taste incredible. It also supports our Florida State Seminoles football program.
Grassroots Coffee knows it's about commitment and being all in. Every sip of End Zone Blend helps push the program forward, supporting the grind and the climb.
So whether you're at home, have a business, or just getting fired up before kickoff, make End Zone Blend part of your game plan.
Support local and our favorite coffee roaster. Order Grassroots Coffee's End Zone Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. And let's keep driving the Noles to victory.
It's that easy. Drink Grassroots Coffee and help support the Florida State Seminoles. And don't forget, you can get 15% off your first order at grassrootscoffee.com.
Grassroots Coffee's brand new End Zone Blend.
Grassroots Coffee.
Made for everyone.
Loved everywhere.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
All right, it's that time of the program on a Libations Friday every week. Mom joins the program, and I try to gain more traction and a larger lead, but I failed last week. Mom took 2 of 3. Is this the beginning of the comeback? She is now down just 7 on the season to me. We're at a critical juncture of the season. If you would talk.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, Mom, how are you, first of all?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm doing well. I'm going to go catch Florida State play basketball tonight against Alabama State, and looking forward to that. They're off to a
Where
one.
is Alabama State?
I don't know. I'm going to guess Alabama.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying what
Montgomery.
What city? I don't even know. I've ever even heard anything about Alabama State.
It's in Montgomery, Alabama. Tom just looked it up. None of us knew.
Oh, okay. Nobody knew. All right. Well, now we do. No, I'm okay. That game last night, I told Tom, you surely had Denver, even though
I did.
They tried to lose that game. It was a terrible game.
I wish they would have. They didn't deserve to win. It was ass sorry. Bo Nix looked terrible. Everything about it was garbage.
I know. I said, I don't know why I'm watching this game. It was absolutely stupid. Bo Nix, I don't know about him. I mean, time he looks really good, and then last night he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Well, he looks like a second-year quarterback. I mean, I think that's, in fairness, this is a lot of these guys. I mean, hey, look last year. Jaden Daniels wins Rookie of the Year. I thought he was spectacular. I had a feeling he'd be great. I bet on him to win Rookie of the Year. But, even before he got hurt this year, he had played poorly. Very poorly. And that's because this league is brutal, and teams spend their entire offseason, if you have success against them, figuring out your tendencies and ways to make you have to adjust. You really don't know about a guy until you get 3 and 4 years, unless there's some sort of wonderkin or they come in and they're immediately elite. Sometimes you can see then like, oh, well, he's going to be really, really good. But for the most part, you don't know. Penix hasn't looked great for Atlanta at all. And so
is he still hurt?
No, he's playing.
Playing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he hasn't been great. He's been okay. He's a hell of a lot better than Kirk Cousins, but he's not great. And so you just the jury's out on a lot of these guys for now. So you got to wait and see. And for Bo, he's had some great fourth quarters this year. The team is winning games because of their defense, but he looked terrible last night. 150 passing yards ain't going to get it done as this season goes on against the better teams. Las Vegas is terrible, but yes, we both had Denver, so we both got that win.
Oh yeah, well, hallelujah. Well, anyway, and then I did get 2 out of 3 last week, so that made me very happy. And I told Tom I should have won that Cincinnati game. That was the craziest game I've ever seen.
Well, both those defenses should be ashamed of themselves. So I don't know that anybody deserved to win anything, but yes, it was something to behold.
It was a crazy, wacky game. But anyway, well, I told him I think we've probably got a couple here that we're going to disagree on. I don't know. I could be wrong, but we'll see.
This is a week that features, very quietly, I think, a bunch of really pivotal matchups, games that are going to have long-term effects on the playoff outlooks for these teams. And, for example, right off the bat, I would tell you that the game over in Berlin, which is always hard to predict because the field is usually messed up and slippery. The time is weird. It's a 9:30 a.m. game our time. Atlanta has to win that game. They're not going to, in my opinion. The Colts are probably going to win that game, but I think they're going to play desperate, so it could be a very intriguing game. Atlanta at Indianapolis, Mom.
Yeah, I take an Indy.
Me too, but it could be a weird game. Just know that.
It could be. Well, Atlanta's one of my teams that I don't really like at all. I've gotten to where I like them less than I did, so I'm rooting for Indy.
Of course. The Giants are at the Bears.
Yes, I took the Bears.
Sure, you should. The Giants are 2-7. Buffalo's at Miami.
I took Buffalo.
Yes, you should. Baltimore at Minnesota. What a freaking game this is.
I know it. I think this might be one that we differ on. I took Minnesota.
I know why you did. Flores' defense is going to blitz Lamar over and over and over again. And if Lamar has a weakness, it's pressure because he backs up over and over and over again instead of sidestepping. But yet I still trust him more than I do on the other side with their quarterback and McCartney. I'm going to go ahead and take Baltimore, but you were right. This is going to be a fun one to watch, 1 o'clock on Sunday.
I know it. I'll be watching. Yeah, I kind of thought that might be one of our differences, so we'll see.
Cleveland and the Jets should be outlawed from playing the game. Nobody is going to watch it. It is humiliating for both franchises that they are going to play it, but they will at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Imagine the poor bastards that are walking into that game now that the weather's turned cold to watch the Browns and the Jets. Who you got?
I know. I got Cleveland. Bless their hearts. I got Cleveland.
Me too. Patriots are in first place currently, and so are the Bucks. They play one another on Sunday down there by you, Mom. Buccaneers are favored by 2. Are you picking the Bucks? My guess is yes.
I am picking the Bucks. I kind of think you're going to pick New England.
I'm not. I'm going to take the Bucks at home.
Well, good for you. I'm proud of you. Yeah, no, I think, Tampa Bay's getting a couple of their guys back that have been hurt. That what's his name, Luke on the line is, I don't know how to say his last name, Godedy or
Gedeke.
Like
Gedeke.
Who?
Gedeke.
That's how you say that?
Luke Gedeke, yeah.
Oh my. Well, anyway, he's coming back, and there's somebody else too. So I'm hoping it's not going to get real cold here until like Monday or Tuesday. So I'm hoping the New England will get hot, and I mean not hot as in they'll do good, but physically hot.
I think they'll be okay. They're pro athletes. They'll be all right.
I know. So I'm picking Tampa Bay.
All right, me too. And another game here that very few people will watch, although that's unfair to Carolina, who has a winning record and is just a game back of the Bucks, 2 games back. Saints at Carolina.
I'm taking Carolina.
Of course.
Bless their hearts.
All right, now it gets interesting. Jacksonville at Houston. The Jags, for their playoff purposes, need to go into Houston and complete the sweep of the Houston Texans, who are going to be without C.J. Stroud, who's concussed.
I know. I took Jacksonville, and I didn't know about C.J. Stroud, actually, when I made that pick, but I took Jacksonville.
Jacksonville has the number one scoring defense in the National Football League in terms of points allowed. They're going to need it because they don't have a quarterback. Davis Mills sucks. I'll take Jacksonville to go on the road and complete the sweep, and they'll keep their playoff hopes alive. Arizona's at Seattle. Jacoby Brissett going to start again for Arizona, fresh off that victory, by the way.
Oh, I'm taking Seattle.
Seattle, one of the best teams in the NFL. I agree with you. The game of the week, arguably, or one of, anyhow, certainly, the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm taking the Rams.
Me too. Nobody's playing better quarterback than their quarterback. Man, is he still good, even though he's old. Detroit's at Washington.
Detroit.
All day, every day. Pittsburgh at the Chargers, a toss-up game.
I know. I took the Chargers.
Me too. And finally, Monday Night Football, Philadelphia travels to Green Bay.
I know. Now, I think that can be a really good game.
Yes.
It depends on which Green Bay team shows up. I took Philadelphia, though.
I did as well. I don't trust Jordan Love at all. I don't trust Green Bay. I feel like Green Bay's fugazi. I'm taking Philadelphia to go and win big. All right. That's it. That's all. Those are the games.
Oh, we've only got one difference.
Right out the gates.
Or Minnesota game. How about that? I'm surprised. I thought we'd have maybe at least 2 or 3 different.
Hell of a game.
I know. Well, I'll be. When are they? Is that what time? Is that a Monday? A 1:00 game?
That is a 1 p.m. game on Fox.
Okay, I will be watching.
Well, you'll be watching the Bucks. Is what you'll be doing.
Oh, well, that's true. But then I'll flip back and forth because when the Bucks make me nervous, then I'll flip over to that game because they make me nervous all the time. You know how I am. If they score and everything, and then it goes to the other team, then I'll go and watch the other game for a while. Then I'll come back and see what we're doing, and I always root for us to be up by like 3 touchdowns.
Well, Mom, everybody who's a fan of a team roots for their team to be up by 3 touchdowns. Yes, that's how you would like every game to go. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way in the NFL.
I know it doesn't, and especially for us. I'm telling you what, I'm a nervous wreck. But anyway, I'll be watching.
All right, Mom. Love you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. You know, Tom, I prefer when we win by 5 touchdowns. I don't know about you.
Hey.
These close games. Yeah. Mom, just so you know, the spread's 2. Probably going to be close.
You guys went with different picks in the purple game of the weekend. Purple v. purple.
I think it's an awesome game. I mean, again, I think this is really about Flores trying to get to Lamar more than anything else.
Well, it's about McCarthy. Are you for real? Here's a chance.
Had a good game, but
it's a defense that's given up an awful lot this season, so you continue to take advantage. He made a couple of big-time throws. I got to give credit. I've been leery of the J.J. McCarthy experiment, but last week was impressive, and they had to have it.
Well, you go to Detroit and win, you are doing something. That is not easy. Now, in fairness, you are right, but, I mean, he threw for 143 yards. They didn't want him and need him to do anything much.
I didn't think he was capable of any big-time throws, honestly. I thought he was carried on the backs of the offensive line and defensive front of Michigan.
Well, of course, and they didn't need him to do a lot, right?
And yet he's a first-round pick. You know,
here's the thing, and he missed all of last year. One of the things you like about J.J. McCarthy, and this is why he got drafted as high as he did, is he's 6'3", 225. He's a big, strong kid who can really let it rip, but he's just never been asked to. I don't think the Vikings want him to do that. Not yet, anyhow.
Well, no. They want him to let it rip, just as in get rid of the ball within a second and a half, because Carson Wentz is like the guy whose controller breaks after the ball is snapped.
Well, he's now done, and he should sue, by the way. He should sue the Vikings.
And holds.
Well, I can't believe they rolled him back out there. His arm's dangling by a thread, and they were like, get back out there and get him. And then he gets hurt badly, And I'd be like, sons of bitches. I mean, my Lord. Yeah, they've been a little unlucky at the quarterback spot with these injuries. But JJ, one thing I think about JJ is that I don't know if you saw the press conference after or his media availability afterwards.
I saw the headline.
It appears genuine. He cares deeply. He hated being hurt.
Oh, no, not that one.
Oh,
Sorry.
not Wentz. I'm talking about McCarthy.
No, there was a press conference this week in which he was speaking about an alter ego.
Oh, I didn't see that. I don't know about all that. I'm saying after the game, he looked borderline emotional because he was so happy that they had gotten a win and he hated not being out there with his guys. He talked about that at length. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
J.J. McCarthy has developed an angry alter ego that he refers to as, quote, 9, because that's the number on his jersey. And he says, I love feeding that wolf.
Okay, we're done here.
Go Ravens.
Come on, man. What are you, insane? Speaking of which, you see there, looks like time's finally catching up to Antonio Brown. That story's nuts, by the way.
Yes. And
have you read that whole story?
I've read enough.
That poor dude did a month in prison over in the Middle East because Antonio Brown completely made up a story about being robbed by a guy that he robbed.
Yes, you can see why when the Buccaneers acquired him in the COVID year.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, it was
the
tough.
wind was out of my sails. It was. And thankfully he wasn't a part of the Green Bay game, so that was easier.
That was easier, yeah.
And then we played Tyreek Hill in the Super Bowl, so that became easier. But, man, I can't believe we signed that guy still.
That guy, the poor dude who was in the neighboring country of Oman, got absolutely screwed. He got him arrested. He was in a Dubai jail. He was like, what is going on here? He stole my diamond necklace. Dude, that is dirty. I'd have shot his ass. We're not doing this.
I'm going to not say what I'm thinking.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A 12-year-old Griffin middle school student was .441 East Paul Russell Road. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Frobley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Daytime highs approaching 80 this afternoon under mainly clear skies, southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies with fog in spots tonight. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Lows level off around 65. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 83. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 81 degrees.
Hey, middle and high school students. Did you know that Florida's Bright Future Scholarship can help pay for your tuition? College might seem far away, but planning for it starts now. Your guidance counselor is like your college planning coach. They know what classes you need and other things you could be working on to qualify. These meetings can literally shape your entire future. So students, parents, make those guidance counselor appointments a priority. Ask questions and stay involved. Your guidance counselor is your best teammate for a bright future. Visit floridabrightfutures.gov to learn more.
This message is brought to you by the Florida Lottery and the Florida Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
But they still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I wish you hadn't told me the thing about J.J. McCarthy feeding the wolf.
What would your alter ego be?
There's no
Do you
such
have
thing.
one
No.
when we started at 1:04 p.m.?
No, there's no alter ego. There's none of that nonsense. Good God, man.
I go by parenthesis.
Tony. Tony, thanks for being a member for 8 months. I asked on last show, but it was late. On the lines of Franklin, how would you two feel about Schumann and Hartline, or even Hartline? Well, if you bring in a coach that hasn't been a head coach, there are going to be questions about that. Obviously, when people mention Hartline, they think about him as a recruiter. I think less so as a play caller, more as a recruiter than anything else. He's considered elite. I always wonder when it comes to that sort of thing, when you're at a place like Ohio State, feels easier to be elite at recruiting. Seems like a machine these days. But he is credited with a lot of the biggest names that have come through there, in particular at wide receiver. His connection and relationship in that deal, yeah, maybe. I'll be honest with you. What I think has been weird for me is that when I go down any of these lists, whether it's a DC at Georgia or an OC at Ohio State or an OC at Oregon, who very quietly has a huge game this weekend, and I would not be surprised to see Iowa beat Oregon. They're at Iowa in inclement weather. Is predicted. It is supposed to be awful.
And it's not like Oregon has run up a resume this year that has you feeling a certain way about them.
No, this is going to be a hell of a test. Again, just so people know, Iowa has it within their means to make it to the college football playoff. And when they stumbled early, people didn't think that was going to be happening, but they're a pretty good team. They got quarterback play for once. That's what makes a difference. But any of the guys that you want to nominate, and that's fine, because there are pluses and minuses to every one of their candidacies. When I go back and look at that, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, he's done a really good job here. He was the heir apparent to this guy. He's learned from this guy. This is the part of the region the country that he knows, et cetera. The knock will be like, you really want to hire a first-time head coach?
Man, where I am on this particular situation is I feel as though this is an NFL franchise and the quarterback is terrible and he's on his second contract. And I don't know which of the first-round draft picks I like, but I know that we need to take one. And I know we need to start with a new quarterback for this franchise. That's where I am with this coaching search. You could sell me on a dude that costs us $3.5 million or a guy that costs us $12 million. I don't know if we have the money for either or both of those options. Probably don't. I don't know who the proper replacement is. I don't think anybody does, but I know what I've seen here, which is in the last 18 games against somewhat light competition, we've won 3 of them. So, I think it's time.
Well, the reason people bring up a guy like Glenn Schumann, he's 35 years old. He's worked at both Alabama and Georgia. And, you work at those two places. Obviously, you got a hell of an apprenticeship. You're a student assistant under Nick Saban. He does have a master's degree in sports management. He's got something behind the scenes at least.
Yeah, he's seen it. He's seen how it operates.
Yeah, and then he became defensive coordinator for Kirby, who, of course, also learned from Nick, and then hit the ground running in Athens. So the machine is something he's very familiar with.
Yeah.
This year they don't have a pass rusher, so they struggle to get to the quarterback, but they do stop the run.
I mean, in theory, yes, correct. Looking at their defense is the holdup this season.
Well, only this season.
The theory of how to run an organization, and you bring in a guy who understands what it looks like from top to bottom, I love that. The concept of that is wonderful.
The concept of it is wonderful because he was an assistant administrator who moved on to be a coach and then coordinator at Alabama and Georgia, and has national championship rings from 09, 11, 12, 15, 21, and 22. Whole lot of winning, whole lot of being around it, whole lot of moving up within the organization. On paper, sounds great.
Hey, the last time we got a Saban disciple to be the head coach, it worked out pretty good. And this would be the grandson disciple in the family tree.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Is he a fit? Can he recruit?
Yeah, it's the same thing as taking a first-round quarterback when you desperately need one. They all look good in theory, but will they be a fit? Do they fit the coordinator? Do you have the right ingredients for an offensive line? Is there chemistry? All of that stuff.
If you read the projections for the first round this year in the NFL, somebody like the Jets who's acquired all these picks, teams that are in the running for the first pick, a lot of the NFL people hate this year's crop of quarterbacks. They hate it. They're like, there's nobody who's any good. We don't want any of these guys. We don't think any of them can play. Now, look, 50-50. It's been a coin flip, even when you do think they can play. So who knows? Maybe you're wrong on the other side of the coin. Maybe one of these kids is great. Who knows? Maybe Mendoza goes on to be a superstar in the NFL. But, man, most people right now, the consensus among scouts is, you don't want the first pick this year if you need a quarterback. You don't want it.
And that's why where I am on this particular situation with Mike is you don't need to break the bank for the next guy if he's not a sure thing. And I don't know that there is one out there. So you don't strap yourself 3 years from now if it doesn't work. But I know that this ain't working.
Optimist Climb. Happy loosey-goosey, boys. If Mike and Gus are retained, would you want TC back? Tommy Castellanos. No. I don't. Tom's going to say he does, probably. But I don't think he's ever going to be healthy for a full season, playing the way that we would need him to play to optimize who he is. So, no, I wouldn't.
What am I going to say?
Well, I thought you were going to say you would.
No, here's the two circumstances that I need to know their plan for and their answers. Let's just assume that this is true and this is what happens. I need to know what the offensive line replacement plan looks like. If it's subpar, yeah, you do want Tommy back. You need somebody who can run around. If you have an offensive line that's worse than this one for next year's team, because you have to replace probably 4 starters at minimum. If you don't get great players in here, you're going to need Tommy. Unfortunately, you're going to have to lean on that. If you do get a good offensive line, then no. If you look at how our roster is constructed, we actually have pretty good pass catching targets, and I'd like to use them. And even though Gus's system is not complex,
I hate the system.
I get it, but there are dudes that are open, and I'd like a quarterback who can hit those targets. And I mean, look at even our recruiting class. It might fall apart at this position too. It could very well. But one of the strongest position groups is receiver. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. We don't use them. So how is it that our receiver class is very, very good? Well, if you have decent receivers that are going to be held over year because Gus and Mike stay, and you're bringing in good freshman receivers, I'd like a quarterback who could hit them if the offensive line is good. But if you've got shoddy dudes coming in from group of 5 schools and you're not so sure that you can pass pro, then you're going to need Tommy in the worst way.
There was a question earlier in the chat. I don't remember. It was Hayden or somebody asked this question. It was regarding our spending, our NIL spending, our roster spending. And I did some research. I found out Florida State has absolutely had players come here that make $1 million, 7 figures or more than one. So they haven't been cheap. They have been able to go out and spend on players.
Like Keon did, yeah, I thought.
Well, I think there's a total of 6 or 7 guys.
I feel like Pettis might have gotten pretty close to that amount over that too. Now that's just speculation. I don't know that. That's not from an inside conversation, but I feel like they spent a good amount of money on Pettis.
Yeah, they've spent good money on guys, and there's been plenty of guys. No, they're not cheap. It's a top 20 NIL expenditure in the game.
Well, and that's the whole
consistently.
Thing. It's overly simplistic to suggest that, hey, take the buyout money and reallocate it for the roster, like the way that Wisconsin announced it yesterday. You've got to convince the person who would be cutting the check for the buyout that, hey, let's just keep the same guy that you're mad at, give me more money, and let's find a way to allocate that towards the roster. Like that's not an easy sell either. It's not as simple as redirect the funds because it's definitely coming to you. You got to convince the people to part with the funds, and they're not wanting to part with the funds unless they're hearing the message that they want you to tell them. It's not like, hey, I'm giving you $5 million anyway. Let's figure out where to spend it. It's not like that at all.
Well, you also have to have the right perspective of what NIL is and where it's going and how to utilize it and be forward thinking within that space and not stuck with some idea that as I've said before, described as Pollyanna. The great reckoning isn't coming where they put the kibosh on all of these extra expenditures and we make sure that everything is a fair market value for the NIL money being doled out for these players. No. It's not. And they're going to find ways around it. And they know that you're not going to the NCAA is over in the courts. The second you try to enforce that, man, they're going to take you to court and they're going to win. Putting a limit on how much you can pay a player, not happening. So we've got to make sure that we have the proper perspective of what NIL is and how best to engage in that space. And I'm not sure currently we do. We might end up getting there. In the interim, I'm a little worried about it. I'll just put it that way. Final hour, bonus hour, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Custom with your window coverings with help from Budget Blinds of Tallahassee. Budget Blinds brings their showroom to your home with dozens of color and pattern choices. Just tell them what you love and they'll make it happen. From designing custom draperies and Roman shades to color matching your blinds and shutters.
I'm Gary, the local owner of Budget Blinds Tallahassee, where you get beautiful style and expert service for any budget. Call 668-4835 for a free consultation online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
Game day in Tallahassee starts with energy, and nothing fuels that spirit like Grassroots Coffee brand new End Zone Blend.
That's right. Every cup of End Zone Blend doesn't just taste incredible. It also supports our Florida State Seminoles football program.
Grassroots Coffee knows it's about commitment and being all in. Every sip of End Zone Blend helps push the program forward, supporting the grind and the climb.
So whether you're at home, have a business, or just getting fired up before kickoff, make End Zone Blend part of your game plan.
Support local and our favorite coffee roaster. Order Grassroots Coffee's End Zone Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. And let's keep driving the Noles to victory.
It's that easy. Drink Grassroots Coffee and help support the Florida State Seminoles. And don't forget, you can get 15% off your first order at grassrootscoffee.com.
Grassroots Coffee's brand new End Zone Blend.
Grassroots Coffee.
Made for everyone.
Loved everywhere.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Hey, everybody, it's Ed Dean along with Roger Henderson, also with FloridaDaily.com. Just want to remind you, daily 4 to 6 in the afternoons right here in Tallahassee on Real Talk 93.3 FM. Roger, it is literally the 2 fastest hours anywhere in afternoon talk radio.
And if you think the country's going crazy, we'll help you make sense of it all.
Oh, yeah, we'll try to make some sense of it. Again, Monday through Friday in the afternoons, Ed Dean, Roger Henderson on 93.3.
Tired of watching baseball score updates on your phone? Get off the bench and head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is your home for all MLB games in-state or nationwide. Enjoy the coldest drinks, Tallahassee's best wings, and watch your team in crystal clear comfort. And if you like to compete, come by Tuesday nights for CP Trivia and Thursday nights for Beer Bingo, where you can walk home with cold, hard cash. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
WVFD Gretna, Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. More of the Jeff Cameron Show is coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
Florida visiting Kentucky tomorrow at Kroger Field in Lexington. The Gators are 3-point road favorites, 43.5 the total. Florida State plus 2.5 at Clemson, 56.5 the total at Memorial Stadium, Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina. Jacksonville Jaguars, 1.5 underdog at the Houston Texans, 37.5 the total. Davis Mills will make his first NFL start since 2022 for Houston. In 26 career starts of the NFL, all with Houston 5-19-1. College basketball, Florida State laying 25.5 points against Alabama State, 163.5 the total. Score $500 in rewards at the G-Bank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guys in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
Hey, Matt, did you hear Real Talk 93.3 has a brand new app?
Wait, finally? So I can take you, Jeff, Steve, and all the Real Talk contributors everywhere I go?
Yep, live shows, past episodes, news updates, you name it. It's all one tap wherever you are.
That's perfect. Now I've got Real Talk in the car, on the couch, even at the beach.
Download the Real Talk 93.3 app today in your app store.
Welcome to Fenn Chiropractic. What in the world happened to you?
Well, it was Thanksgiving, and it started out normal. We had deep-fried turkey, lukewarm beer, and a political debate that escalated into a deviled egg fight. Then Cousin Daryl said the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. And boom, there's folding chairs flying. Somebody tried to suplex Uncle Roy right through the buffet table.
Oh, my Lord.
Then Grandma pulled out her old wrestling belt and said, let's settle this in the yard. That's when Hank stepped in. Hanky Panky, my emotional support alligator. He tail whipped the potato salad in the neighbor's yard and stared down my brother-in-law to stop the yelling, and then he calmly slid into the hot tub like nothing happened.
So, how did you get hurt?
I got hurt when I tried to high-five Hank. I slipped on a gravy boat and I landed on the lawn gnome.
Family drama, holiday injuries, or gator-related back pain? Get adjusted at Fenn Chiropractic. Visit fennchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
Just like family, your chiropractor loves you and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. Thanks for watching on Warchant TV. We do appreciate it greatly. Thanks for your support. Like, subscribe, pass it around, celebrate. However it is you listen to the Jeff Cameron Show. Could be the pod. You might be on a treadmill right now listening to the pod. Maybe you're on hour 1. Well, if you're on hour 1, you're not hearing this. But either way, however it is you consume the show, we greatly appreciate it. Thanks for allowing us to do a dream job. It's awesome. And on 93.3, you're supporting the only locally owned and operated radio station in Tallahassee, so that's important too. I don't know. I can't. Do you have the feeling? Do you have the gut feeling that we always talk about? Have you been able to come to a conclusion this week?
No.
I haven't either, really. I mean, I picked Clemson solely based on what they do well and the talent they have, what we do well and the talent we have, and vice versa, the things we don't do well and they don't do well. And I just thought it was a bad matchup. But honestly, I don't know. Maybe it is that Clemson doesn't want to be there. I just can't get a feeling at all.
All scenarios are possible tomorrow, and Florida State does the unexpected. I feel like that means, given that this team has done the unexpected consistently this season outside of the 2 directional games, that I'm going to go with Florida State wins by a couple of scores, because that would be the most unexpected result. If you got your Office Space jump to conclusions mat out there and put it in front of you, where you've got Clemson blowout, Florida State blowout, close for either of the 2 teams, sloppy game. I mean, all these things are possible. The most unexpected result would be Florida State in commanding fashion tomorrow. But you know what? That's what they've been doing this year, so maybe that's exactly what's going to happen.
And then I get stuck in the same rut that I'm always in. What does it even mean? Like an existential crisis every week, over and over again. What does it even mean? But I do love Florida State, and I do love college football, and I'll be watching.
I mean, it would be, get your popcorn ready, hilarious if we're up by 3 scores in the third quarter. We're up 27-10, and all they're doing is not showing our players, not showing our sideline. They constantly are talking about the Clemson sideline and cut over to Dabo. Buddy, popcorn, brown liquor, you name it. I'm going to enjoy every bit of that. I hope that's exactly what they give us.
Well, we've been through it. We've been through it. We've watched oh man, it's all coming unglued. And I guess Schadenfreude is undefeated. We always enjoy. Last week we got a big healthy dose of it. Florida losing, obviously. Miami losing, obviously. It was outstanding.
Chances are, if we do have a commanding lead, that you're going to hear more about Clemson's problems in this game, because this is what happens. It's the same announce crew for Clemson for the 3rd game in a row. Aren't they sick of these people?
Well,
it's Wes Durham and Steve Adazio. And they call the SMU game and they call the Duke game. And they're going to call the game tomorrow night.
One of the problems, and Adazio's our guy. Nobody else in the business likes Adazio, but Tom and I do. We've got a good relationship with Adazio. Legitimately a good relationship with Adazio.
He does get tripped up on the broadcast a little too much, but yes.
Oh, yeah, and he's a new broadcaster, so it's not even like this is his forte. He's just learning it. Also, the problem when you bring these coaches in, it's not that they don't know football. Of course they do. But every one of them is very reluctant to say anything overly critical of one of their cohorts, one of the people in the biz, right? Because they've been there. They are, chances are, if they're doing color commentating, they've been fired. They're sensitive to the fact that this is a tough profession. Things can go wrong. And they view everybody who's not in it as a distinct outsider who ought not have an opinion on it. That's the way they view you, me, fans, anybody not in the profession. So they're never good in these situations where a coach is on the brink of seeing his program ripped from his grasp. It's evident to all, including this individual, but he doesn't want to say it because he doesn't want to criticize one of his own. I hate that. I wish it wasn't that way because I like Adazio, but he's not going to say anything negative about Clemson.
So they were caught on a hot mic in the full game replay of Clemson and Duke. They're running back the all-22 copy, and Adazio is trying to break down the breakdown that Clemson had in man coverage. It's the touchdown that Duke scores in the first half where nobody's in the picture.
Right.
And so I think the person who cut up the broadcast after it was over thought it was a hot mic, like a live setting, and it's not. And Adazio is saying, I'm pretty sure here this corner shouldn't be blitzing. I don't, there's not a safety to come over the top. And Klubnik's got to make that throw. Well, Wes, it's not Klubnik, it's Mensah that makes the throw from Duke.
Correct.
Wes has had it with Adazio in that moment. He goes, "It's Mensah, not Klubnik." I should probably try and find that and play the audio.
He's just done. He's like, how many times are you going to screw the guy's
I don't
name
know
up?
if he's done because he's mad about the Clemson result. Maybe
He does love him some Clemson.
Even though he's not a Clemson guy, he does love him some Clemson.
He does love him some Clemson.
He sounded irritated. Maybe I should go get the audio for everybody, but I couldn't believe it. That's on the ACC's YouTube channel. They let this hot mic thing go, which is pretty funny.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's he's just like, damn it, man. What are you talking about? Get it together. I think the reason he likes Clemson is that he likes the ACC. And so he wants the proud torch-bearing programs of the ACC, the ones who have a chance when they're operating to peak efficiency to win and win big as in national titles, to be good because it's good for the league. That's why I say it's a tough year for the league this year. Next year it may be great. It changes all the time. But this is a bad year for the ACC. You don't need Virginia sitting atop your standings. That's not a great Virginia team. They have been lucky. Credit. They win all the close games in which they are lucky, but lucky. And against some bad teams, they've been lucky. And so you don't need that. Look, what you needed if you were waving the flag of the ACC, I hate to say this, but what you needed was Miami to fulfill their promise. Their $4 million quarterback and their overpriced roster littered with NFL talent. You needed them to not pull a crystal ball and lose to people they have no business losing to. Now, Louisville's a good football team. Louisville's a good team. You could maybe forgive the Louisville loss down in Miami. It's not ideal, but hey, look, Brahm's a very good coach, much better coach than Mario Cristobal. And you could say, all right, well, fine, you lost that one. But that's your wake-up call. You can't now then go and lose this game or at home. Oh, no, they were on the road, sorry, to SMU. You can't do it. And to have the telltale signs of some larger issues about to infiltrate is really where you got to get nervous if you're Miami, because Lee said it in hour one, and he's right. I was watching when it happened and went, oh, so that's what we're made of. The second your boy throws the pick, and remember, he's already rolled them under the bus, his teammates, that is. He throws that pick. SMU hadn't been able to run the ball all day. And right off the bat in overtime, they run the ball right down their throat. They just caved.
No, I'm telling you, that was the whisper around the Georgia program, is they were all too happy to let Beck leave.
Now, he has a terrible habit of not biting his tongue. You can think whatever you want to think. Hey, I just run the play that's called, and shut the hell up with that nonsense. Secondly, guy drops the ball, goes through his hands, picked off by somebody, like, well, we have an opportunity to catch the ball. You can't do it. It's the unenviable part about being a quarterback. It's also why you're making $4 million. Wear it.
Yeah, but he doesn't, and that's why they said Stockton is the way that we want to go in Athens, and you can understand it now. Now, that's where getting a second chance as a quarterback, it could work for all parties. I mean, Georgia is doing what it needs to do, especially offensively. But then maybe it's the wake-up call that a kid like Carson Beck needed. He gets down to Miami, and boom, everything clicks for him. But it hasn't, and it's glorious because you got the Spider-Man thing going on between the Ward Canes and the Beck Canes, and it's great.
Well, Ward played great all year.
He did.
Their
now,
defense,
if he was on this team, they would be in business, in real business.
Right. Their defense absolutely screwed them.
It's whack-a-mole. It's always something.
Yeah. No, he's got to. Well, the other good thing that happened in the Miami loss to SMU, the sidelines got interesting. How about that interaction between Mario and his coaches? I mean, it's one thing. Coaches, hey, listen, we know how emotional football is, how physical and violent, and all the things. That's why there's so much yelling and scrapping and the stuff that goes on. Coaches can bark at each other. It happens everywhere. Even when they have very healthy relationships, coaches will get mad at each other about something. You got to have a situation like that where the camera's locked in and the two of you are screaming each other down.
DawsonTotally.com.
I like him as a coordinator. But that was something. There's some – listen, I bring it up before. College football has got some interesting contests this weekend. If Oregon loses to Iowa, the Big Ten is in an interesting position. Right now, Oregon's best win is a win over Penn State. And what's happened with Penn State since? It's fascinating to me. I wonder, could they get, Iowa's got a shot. There's some games that are going to matter in the next 3 weeks in a way that we didn't expect. Let's put it that way. That could affect the top of the college football rankings and the playoff picture. It's a murky mess in the ACC and the Big 12.
Oh, yeah, Miami, NC State, that game, all kinds of implications for the ACC standings. Crazy.
Well, there's all kinds of implications for people's jobs at this point. Florida State, NC State might be one of those games as well.
Florida State, Clemson tomorrow.
Steel cage, loser leaves town.
Loser pays the other's buyout. There you go. But Pitt Notre Dame is the game of consequence next week.
Great game.
It's at noon. I'm thankful for our 7:30 kick for that reason. Get to watch that Pitt Notre Dame game start to finish.
Get a game tonight that matters.
Yeah, Tulane and Memphis.
Well, and I do believe, let me double check.
That's a 9:00 kick for Tulane Memphis, by the way.
But I also think, if I'm not mistaken, Houston and UCF. Is that not tonight?
Could be.
Because, you get Northwestern and Southern Cal as well, by the way. I actually think this is
wow, why did they schedule both of those for 9 p.m.? Come on now, guys.
I think we have a sneaky good Friday night in front of us. Memphis, Tulane, 9:00. Northwestern, USC, 9:00. And Northwestern's been, game. And Houston, UCF at 8:00. UCF trying to make a bowl, has to win this game, given who their opponents are on the horizon. Houston trying to bounce back after a bad loss. Obviously, they're having a good season, but that was a bad loss. They need this one badly. Giving up 45 points to West Virginia will hurt your feelings. This would cause me, as a recruiter, to call the young man at quarterback that we desperately wanted, who committed to Houston. As I said on the show repeatedly, you're committed to Houston, sir.
Yeah, if you're James Franklin, you're calling the kid from Houston. Is that right?
Oh.
I'm sorry. Never mind.
You think he's going to take this job?
I don't know.
I think he'd want to. I
don't even know that I'd want him because it depends on the price point. That's my take on James. For how much?
I think James would come here and recruit, and therefore, okay, fine. We'd be raising the floor considerably.
$9 million?
As long as there's no crazy buyouts.
See, that's the thing. You come in around like 6, sounds good, because I feel better about the staff that you're going to be able to bring in with you. But if it's like 9 or 10, oh, buddy, you're right back where you started. He has to nail it, because if he doesn't, then we'll see in 2032.
I would want to dig around about why were they in such a hurry the second he had those strange losses. That's the thing. He'd lost games in the past to really good teams. In fact, those are the games he lost, right? We always noted that Penn State was perpetually in the tint of suspicion. I would come on and say, are they good? Yeah, they're good. They got good players. They got a lot of guys who are going to get drafted. They're going to win a lot of games in the Big Ten. But can he beat Ohio State? Can he beat Michigan when he needs to? Can he beat those teams? And too often the answer was no. And that's why Penn State fans were frustrated. But they would win all those other games. There was none of this nonsense like going on in our backyard. None of this. And so your baseline would be that you're going to win a lot of games and be in a position to compete for an ACC title. And the way the ACC looks like right now, let's see if Dabo's here in a year or not. Obviously, Cristobal has proven to be Cristobalin.
Mm-hmm.
And
consistency.
This is not a league full of juggernauts that you're going to have to overcome. Who would constitute the big game every year that you're worried he's going to lose? Florida? Out of conference? Maybe.
Yeah, whoever the marquee SEC team was that we played to begin the year.
But you can lose that game. You can lose to Georgia and Alabama. Doesn't really matter. Hell, you could beat them and it might not matter. Unfortunately, under the current administration.
Well, and in those days when it was Penn State, Ohio State, they're in the same half and they played divisions for the conference championship. So it was always Iowa versus the last team standing in a loaded other half. So you never got a shot at them in December.
Brutal.
Now, I'm not trying to be an apologist for James Franklin. Don't get me wrong. He's got plenty of warts, but he didn't lose to the likes of Purdue and Illinois and Northwestern on the regular.
No.
Because that's what's going on here right now is you're losing essentially to those teams.
Yes. But I do wonder.
UCLA. I know he lost this year, but he would have to have done that for 3 years running.
Right. So what I want to know is clearly they hit the eject button the second they had a chance to do it.
That's right.
I mean,
It
he
got
lost
stale.
to UCLA and then lost to Northwestern, and they went, that's it. You're gone. Just took us to the playoffs last year and won a game. Yeah, great. You're gone.
Which means that they hated him even while they
That's
were in
what
the
I'm
midst of the
saying.
playoff run. So why?
That's what I want to know.
Yep.
That's the research I'd have to be doing.
That
Like,
is-
what's going on here? Why were you all too happy to jump? Like, you guys didn't even wait half a second. You're like, oh, lost again, did you? Peace. That was.
Does that mean we're done for today?
I mean, that's no, but that's pretty crazy. My man Shannon Young getting you your loan for that dream home. He does so 7 different states: Florida, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Texas, and the Carolinas. Better rates, better options, stronger support, faster response. That's what he got when he went to Cross Country Mortgage. But his work ethic is second to none. His expertise in the field, second to none. He's been rolling lately with my fellow Noles, loansfornoles.com. We've had 4 or 5 guys sign up in the last 2 weeks. Glorious. That unwavering commitment, yep, you can count on it. Go to loansfornoles.com, loansfornoles.com.
Water is your home's worst enemy. It finds cracks, soft spots, and weaknesses. But not on our watch. At Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing, we're veteran-owned and built different, driven by detail and the pursuit of excellence. We install seamless gutters, underground drainage, and waterproofing systems that don't fail. Because when you live with discipline, water doesn't stand a chance. Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing. Visit guttersolutions.net. With us, it's personal. A roof isn't decoration. It's your home's first line of defense. At GSWP Roofing, we treat every build like it's mission critical. We're GAF Master Elite certified, led by a former Marine, and we don't cut corners. We execute with discipline, precision, and materials that hold the line. Storm after storm, year after year. Repairs, replacements, full installs. This is roofing done by the book. No excuses, no shortcuts. GSWP Roofing. Online at gswproofing.com. With us, you're covered.
Number CCC 1335048.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint of the bite in the cool AC or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the
Hey man, have you heard of town? It's Outfit Jewelry's the best in town. Rings, diamonds, earrings, bracelets, and more. It's Outfit Jewelry.
Nice for someone that means a lot to you. Now, I say this every day at the end of my show for everybody to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Well, one way to do that is to drop it at Penthouse and get a gift to someone who deserves it. It'll brighten their day, their week, maybe even their year. You don't have to wait for a holiday or special occasion, so don't wait to go check out a true local gem serving Tallahassee since 1988. Now sing along with me, and I'll see you at Penthouse.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be...
Debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing. And now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. 7278. That's 800-576-7278. 800-576-7278.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State Athletics. Real Talk 93.3.
So for the future with our friends at ISF, we got a good question in here that we'll use as the catalyst for solving for the future. Look forward to it. Noel Kev, thanks for your contribution. I'll get to it in just a second. ISF, who's been a great partner on the Jeff Cameron Show for some time now. Can't thank him enough. And we've heard thing, obviously, they're in 40 freaking states from right here in little old Tallahassee. And they bring in their experienced thought leaders, proven methodologies, impacting, supporting meaningful change. Got clients that range, as I've said before, private sector, diverse industries, collaborative model built with the idea that, look, they want to work with you. They want to hear from those relationships up over time. Human and health services, financial services, education, regulatory and licensing. They work with universities, children's and families, management, administration, you name it. ISF can help with all of those things. Okay, so Noel Kev's question, as I said, is the catalyst for this. Where would you rank the job amongst the already open jobs still being in the ACC and whatnot? Most of the coaches that you would ask, and I've asked agents before about this, I want to know not what I think because I'm biased, not even what perhaps other people who cover college football think from the it comes down to resources most of the time. I've had plenty of agents tell me they'd much rather have the Florida State job than, say, the Auburn job. I've had agents tell me that they would like the Florida State job more than the Penn State job. That want to play in the Big Ten or the SEC, the two most glorious conferences. So you're going to have some issues in recruiting. It's going to be used against you. But a lot of people combat that with the path. Now, I've heard a lot of people say the ACC. They don't think the ACC, especially this year, in the same manner that they weighed in on teams from the Big 12 last year when the first rankings came out, they revealed to you they didn't think that was a good league. They're doing it this year to the ACC. I don't think it's a great year for the ACC. But where I think a coach would look at the FSU job is they'd say, all right, look, when Florida State is operating at peak efficiency, and I am taking advantage of the resource in a recruiting-rich, fertile area of the country with great facilities now. I mean, the upgrades to these facilities, the football-only facility, obviously the changes to the stadium, while back getting the indoor practice lacking in facilities. They're better than many of their SEC counterparts. Not all. Obviously, Alabama's place is like the Taj Mahal. But they're better than a lot of teams in that league with their facilities and what they've added on. If, once again, you presume you're a coach being asked the question of where you want to go and how you're ranking these job openings, you'd say, look, I can go to FSU. I'm going to presume, because I believe in myself and I'm going to bet on myself, that I'm going to maximize their ability. Well, Florida State has shown that if you're maximizing the tools that you have at Florida State, you can compete and win national championships. And then to the college football playoff is pretty easy because I don't have to play LSU one week and then go on the road and play Georgia the next and then come home and take on Oklahoma and come home and face, I don't know, even a team like Auburn who has an elite defense and a terrible offense. Like, the players are good enough to beat you if you have an off day. You don't have to do that in the ACC. You're going to have to contend with, when they're good, when they're operating at peak efficiency, a school like Clemson, Miami, when they're good and invested. And I think in the future, I like my chances that FSU can duel the vast majority of those schools, both from a resources standpoint, financial standpoint. They have that opportunity. Maybe not Miami right now, who's all in. We'll see if they continue to be, because this has been a goal, is to certainly get to the ACC championship game and win it, something they've never done. And they're on the outside looking in currently, despite throwing a lot of money at the problem. I mean, for as critical as I am of Mike, and I think we should be, he did just win the ACC championship a couple years ago. So Florida State, when they're operating right, it's a special place. Is it a better job right now than, say, the Florida job? Probably not. Is it a better job than the LSU job? No. Some people think the LSU job's the best job in the country, or in the conversation for. Because they're all in. They're all in. They're all in on all aspects. Like, they're all in legally and illegally. They're all in all the ways that one can be in. It's a pressure cooker, but I would presume you want that job if you're a big-time coach.
I think the Florida State job is probably fourth or fifth of the openings right now if you're just speaking on resources at your disposal the day that you take the job. Auburn's better because they're going to be desperate and spend. Florida's better, LSU's better, Penn State's better.
I don't want the Auburn job over the Florida State job.
This is one category.
I was going to say category is the only category, because that job's not better than the Florida State job.
No, I don't think it is either. But what I'm just saying is, if you're talking about resources at your disposal, you'll have more at Auburn than you will at Florida State day one. If you're a new coach taking over in 4 weeks' time, 5 weeks' time, you're going to have more. Where Florida State is the best job of all of the jobs right now, we talked about this last week, is runway. You take over in this situation, the fan base, the administration, everybody understands it's time to be patient for a year or two with you implementing your vision.
Yeah, easily.
Because of the high school recruiting problems that we've had here, if you're going to build it up the right way, which is through the prep ranks, we're going to have to wait a little bit. Yes, there will be portal solutions in the immediate, but we're not looking for, or expecting, I should say, 11-1, 10-2, and a playoff berth out the gate. Would it be great? Sure. But we're going to have to do the same thing next year that we were hoping for this year, which is give us a floor that's a lot higher and then hope for the next season. So the person who's taking the job isn't walking into Baton Rouge where they want immediate results. Gainesville, they've been where we are right now forever. They want immediate results. They want to see immediate year one improvement that puts them back in the conversation. Auburn, the same. Penn State, the same. If you're Penn State, you were just in the playoff and you were in the Final Four a year ago. You're not looking to rebuild from the ground up with your next hire. Florida State is. And if you believe that Florida State is going to be in the Power 2 or the reconfigured college football landscape in the next 5 years, you've got all the time in the world to build with a path to the title and runway and patience from the fan base and the money people in order to build your vision. This is the best job that you could take. 2 different categories, and it's not like you won't have any resources at your disposal at Florida State. You'll just have less than many of these other jobs that are open.
Well, you're going to have less, by definition, than any school in the SEC or the Big Ten. That's just a fact. They bring in more money every year with their television contract than the ACC does. Even with this revamped structure, you're still not maximizing the same level of profits that the SEC teams are as member institutions there. And until you get out of this league, you never will.
And even if we have the money to make the wholesale changes, we don't have unlimited funds. That's great that we have that money, but now once you're here, I imagine that you will have an NIL presence because people are going to want to get you off the ground as quickly as possible, but it's not going to be the same thing as your SEC counterparts. But you've got a real opportunity here to grow something organically. In the microwave era of college football, you got a chance to let something bake a little bit over time here. And that, to me, would be attractive if I'm a coach on the market.
Well, I think you can have your cake and eat it too. I think that you could indeed benefit from the expectations that I guess would be considered lowered based on the fact that we're in no position to fire a coach 2 years after he's hired. So you're going to get 2, 3, 4 years, no matter what. Sure. But I also don't think the roster's barren. Like, I think you walk in here, yeah, you're going to have to replace this offensive line, which, damn it, man, I'm tired of having to do that every year. But between the Desir twins and what you've got at wide receiver that you and I have talked about, a couple of guys that you can probably hang your hat on and feel good about, Cromaw's a real piece to the puzzle that you're looking for moving forward as a big-time running back. Might have a couple of those guys. You're not completely devoid of talent. There's some guys there in the defense. Not great. It's not great, but it's not. Look, you can win.
Yeah, you're leaning on the Desirs and Juju in a big way, but you're also going to have to retain those guys.
Oh, absolutely, you are. But I would think that you get that chance. We're presuming that you take this job and you come in, you get your opportunity to pitch and sell and do all of that. They're paying Win a lot of money. I don't think he's just going to ride out.
Well, I see Hawaii Noel says, I'm expecting conference championship year one with the next hire. Okay. Look, this is the ACC. There is a path. There is an absolute path to do that.
That's what I mean.
I'm just saying that the foundation isn't steady or sturdy here. So whoever the next guy is, we asked Mike to steady the foundation, and he has a little bit, but certainly not on the level that we were all hoping for.
You keep Micah Danzy. You got an opportunity with a few of the other guys that we like that would be coming back next year. Yeah, you're going to lose Darrell Jackson. But there's 2 or 3 guys that I like.
Like any linebackers?
Not really. But I haven't seen the one kid, the Caleb Lavallee. Want to see how he is.
He's turned into the unicorn here.
He's always hurt. I love Ashland Barker. He's not a linebacker, but he might as well be. He's big. When he's healthy, he's a good player. Very good player.
Well, that's the other thing is let's say that you land a guy like Franklin. I know On3 has an article today. I'm not trying to promote, but it's just a legitimate article that's out there in which they're talking about or talking to Franklin commits and would they follow him to the next destination. And many of them said, I would strongly consider it. You'd have to start looking at that as well. If you're grabbing a coach from, it's Franklin or if it's Summerall or wherever, let's just say, let's go to that example. If it's Summerall, can he do the James Madison Siggs thing? Got some players down there. Can you raid that roster and help expedite the process? I just think that you're going to have to be patient with the next guy for that sustainable looking success rather than the microwave era success.
Should be noted of the hard commits that they have. You've got 4-star, 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 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4. Yeah, give me some of those 4-star kids. Let's see what we got. They're overall right now, this is where it gets difficult because they've been impacted by the firing of a coach. But their composite ranking is 28th. It ain't good.
Talking Penn State?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had... So in the last 5 years, they've had 1 top 10 class, maybe 2. Maybe.
I just like the way they've recruited the line of scrimmage.
They've done, yeah, and they've sent those dudes to the league.
They send those dudes to the league every year, including last year with the 2nd pick in the draft.
I think he was 6th in 2021 or 2022 was Franklin. And then since then, it's been okay. But then again, that is not a traditional recruiting area within the country. You'd be in a much, if you've got skills, it should be accentuated here in the state of Florida. But that's why I don't want Franklin for 10.
I was just thinking about Franklin for a second. Saquon Barkley, Chris Godwin, Micah Parsons, Joey Porter Jr.
Gross Matos was a badass too.
They've had some dudes now. Some offensive linemen. Fairmouth, the tight end, stud.
Who's their tight end last year? Is he still there this season?
No, he was a beast last
That
year.
dude
He got
was
drafted in the first round.
Real.
Yeah.
No, maybe the Colts took him?
Yes, that's him.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren?
Yeah.
The stud?
Yeah, that dude is ridiculous.
Come on now. He's recruited now. I don't know what those rankings are, what they are, but man.
Well, that's the other
he's
thing
had some
here.
players.
There's two facets to it. There's recruiting and development. We don't develop here. The book is open and shut on that, right?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Can we all agree, even people who want Mike back, that the development deal,
it's annoying.
You've got to hope that the new dudes that were brought in this year are better at developing, and maybe they are, but is there enough time?
I just pulled it up for you here. The guys in the league that Franklin's responsible for. Saquon Barkley, that'll work. Ryan Bates, starting offensive lineman. He's in the 7th year in the NFL. Jaquan Brisker, he's also with the Bears, by the way, 4th season in the NFL at safety. Jair Brown, safety for the 49ers. Abdul Carter, which I just referenced. Oh, wait, did Carter go number 1 in the draft? No, Ward did, right?
Yeah.
Johan Dotson, Lashano, the offensive lineman, Fairmouth, the tight end. Kevin Gibbons is still in the league. Oh, Gesicki went there. Did you know that? The tight end?
I felt like he went to Notre Dame. I guess he didn't.
Gesicki went there. Obviously, Chris Godwin. Man, I love me some Chris Godwin. He's had some hard-nosed dudes.
You're talking yourself into this hire is what you're doing. I would pay 7. I would pay 8. I would pay 8.5.
Well, man, they got a lot of dudes out there in the league right now, including some dude named Micah Parsons. That was a pretty good get, Tom.
Hey, we got Jared Verse out there kicking ass.
Chop Robinson.
Got Braden Fisk.
Miles Sanders.
Got Braden Fisk.
Brenton Strange is the Jaguars' backup. Well, no, he's not the backup. He's with the Jags tight end. He gets plenty of time.
Little Renardo Green.
Tyler Warren was, by the way, who we're thinking of. Man, he could recruit a tight end now. All right. Plenty of offensive linemen. One with the Jaguars. Another one here. Green Bay. Is in his 5th year. Okay. You're right. I am convincing myself of this.
You are. Yes, you are. Your price tag is going up and up and away.
I just want somebody to recruit.
You also want somebody to bring in really good tight ends that produce at that type of level where they're physically imposing. It's not just about their great H-backs. You want a dude that looks like Warren. And who doesn't? They were snapping him the ball last year. That was really fun to watch.
He is a player, and he's one of the reasons that, Colts have been. So he's going to win Rookie of the Year. He's got a very good chance to win Rookie of the Year. Tyler Warren does. He's been that good. And he's good from day one. First NFL game, you're like, look at that guy kicking ass. I mean, right off the bat, it's awesome. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A Leon High School student was arrested passengers to check with their airline for updates. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MaclemoreSystems.com.
Now, here's your Tallahassee weather report.
From the ABC 27 First to Know Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ryan Gold. Skies will remain clear all day long, but we could have a bit of a breeze at around 10 miles an hour as we head out for our work breaks. As we head home, though, from work, we will climb into the upper 60s with the wind dying down. From the ABC 27 First to Know Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ryan Gold.
November 10th, 1919.
The first Armistice Day is observed following the cessation of hostilities on the western fronts of World War I. Later known as Remembrance Day, in 1954, the United States Congress established a national holiday to be observed each year on November 11th, to honor all of our nation's veterans for their service and devotion. This Veterans Day, New South Roofing will join with Americans here and across the world as together we honor our nation's veterans with parades, ceremonies, and prayerful gatherings, as we give thanks for our nation's veterans and their loved ones, for their willingness to stand in defense of our freedom and the liberty of our nation. From New South Roofing, online at newsouthoofing.com, or call 806-639-7663.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on more than 44,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious Fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop, or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Feeling anything juicy at the end of the show here, Tommy? Like, for example, I'm going to go under 6.5 goals. Minnesota, New York tonight at 7. Islanders, that is.
Oh, man, I would have really liked that bet for Rangers.
Well, they don't score, so that's why you would have liked that.
6.5?
Yeah, no, Rangers, Detroit, I'm actually going over 6 goals there. How about the start Detroit's had this year? That's been nice.
Maybe in like year 25 of the Iser plan, it finally starts to work for them.
Chicago and Calgary, lower scoring, perhaps.
Well, Calgary is one of the worst teams in the game this year, and Chicago is looking much better.
Much better. Winnipeg and San Jose, we're going to go under 6.5 goals there.
So their number 1 overall pick, who was not as heralded as many of his predecessors, Celebrini, as of a couple days ago, was co-leading the league in points.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Good for you, San Jose, at some point, right?
Your boy up in Pittsburgh, the old man, leads the league in goals.
Well, and he was tied with Celebrini, and after last night, I'm sure he's gone ahead in the total league lead.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so Crosby's has a crack at 1,900 points, 2,000 points if he decides to play long enough, which is wild. And Ovechkin has a chance at 1,000 goals.
Feel-good story of the weekend is in college football. And since we're at the end of the show, the Texas Tech BYU football game in Lubbock on Saturday features 2 of the Big 12's best teams with playoff implications. But off the field, their fans are on the same side. On October the 16th, Ivan Ortiz, the Red Raiders team barber, found out that his wife, Maddie, was hit by a drunk driver. 3 weeks later, she remains in the University Medical Center in intensive care with multiple surgeries ahead of her. Ortiz doesn't leave her side. I hardly sleep. I probably sleep like 2 to 3 hours a day, he told KCBC News on Monday. I've shared the bed with Maddie for 7 years, and I go home to nothing. It's been very hard on me and my son. It's a different feeling, especially with someone you share the bed with. However, that has been a burden on the family for now. Maddie is a stay-at-home mom with her 3-year-old son. And with her in the hospital, Ivan has had to leave his job, where his income depends solely on commissions. The Ortiz family story spread across social media, though, touching the hearts of even BYU fans. And now a GoFundMe page has been set up in which over $120,000 has been raised in donations, mainly because of a BYU fan account named Sporty McSports, who heard of the story, then posted about it and begged his followers to get involved. So BYU fans, Texas Tech fans, coming together to raise money for this man and his wife and son as she fights to stay alive and is in need of surgery. How cool is that?
I like hearing stuff like that.
It's a great story.
Restore
right there.
faith a little bit.
Yeah, pretty neat. And it continues to raise money, and the BYU fans and Texas Tech fans join forces to watch their teams play this weekend in what is a pivotal matchup.
Saw a couple questions in the chat. I've heard this, but I can't confirm it, that the Notre Dame game next year is off the books for football because it's a 9-game conference schedule that we need to play. And we had 4 non-conference opponents, Notre Dame, Florida, Alabama, and Central Arkansas, and somebody had to go. And so on Florida State's website, the Notre Dame game is no longer listed as a future opponent.
But there it is.
So it's not confirmed. At least I haven't gotten confirmation. I don't really call Florida State that often for such things. But it seems as though, yes, Notre Dame will be the odd team out. And I was wondering how the ACC was going to work that, considering that they wanted to up it to 9 games, but Notre Dame is in the rotation. So I don't know what the logistics of that are going to look like. But for right now, on Seminoles.com, the official Florida State site, Notre Dame is no longer listed as a 2026 football game.
All right, so what you will have next year, regardless, is a game against Miami in Miami, Pitt at Pitt. That program is doing well. Clemson here. You got SMU here as well. You do have Florida here, and you have Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So those are the big ones. You have NC State here. You have Boston College up in Chestnut Hill, all that stuff. But I just want to name the notable teams: Louisville, Miami, Pitt, SMU, Clemson, Florida, and Alabama. I think, if we're being honest, you're a little relieved not to be playing Notre Dame next year in the midst of all of that.
So I just checked over to our boards, and Gene Williams has confirmed it as of like a minute ago on his end.
Not going to be a game.
So whoever it is, we're going to get maybe Stanford comes here to town. We get a chance to play him again. A little return match. Who knows? But it will be an ACC opponent.
In 27, you have Georgia, Florida, Miami, Pitt, Clemson. And the rest ought to be winnable, although I shouldn't just gloss on over Manny Diaz's Duke Blue Devils these days, buddy. In 28, in Athens, the creek don't rise. Tommy, you and I are going to Athens a little bit early in 2028. I've got friends there. I've got a niece that graduated from there, and Athens is an ass-kicking college town.
Never been, and that would be my niece's senior year of college.
There it is.
So that's a must. That is
rolling
a must.
into Athens, buddy. That year we have Georgia, Florida, Clemson, Miami on the road, SMU in Dallas, Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. We'll see what they are by that time. Then in 29, you do have Notre Dame. It's a home game here. We're getting out ahead of it. Little Notre Dame action. No more Georgia. No more Alabama. It's all off the books then. I would really very much look forward to another one of these type games. We'll see what the college football landscape is by then. Who knows? We may be in the SEC by then.
Yeah, we might be. And also, just for that Georgia game, you better hope that maybe we've moved conferences, because they've got in a fixed game with Georgia Tech. And if they're playing 9, that means that 10 of their games would include Georgia Tech. Do they want 2 tune-ups, or do they? Well, who knows what we're going to be? Hopefully not.
I would prefer not to be considered a tune-up.
And we beat SEC teams in the early part of the season. That's what we do.
Well, we play Georgia on September the 4th here in Tallahassee in 2027. So that is it's slated right there like Alabama was. Come get you some.
Yeah, that's right. We will win that game.
Well,
I'm here for it. It's done. Locked.
Next year, we play Alabama September the 19th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, week 3.
In Tuscaloosa. On the road, we will make our way up there. We will do it up. We will have fun. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. That's really, when you think about college football, the joy of this is playing big time. One of the things that is going to be a consequence of an expanded playoff in super conferences and new television deals is that many of the games that fall into the category of a payday for a smaller school to be able to compete and fund their other programs are going to go by the wayside. Now, those games, those teams and those programs will exist, but in a different way. When you get into a situation where if you have a 16-team playoff, let's say, and let's say it's something akin to what Lashley was talking about yesterday, which is that, you're one of your top 4 teams in a super league, you're going to a playoff, then you can afford to go 10-2 or 9-3 and make a playoff, which means it means coaches are going to earn their money. You don't schedule a patsy like Central Arkansas. You don't schedule some of these games that we all have, that all the programs have, where you roll your eyes and you're like, East Texas A&M, really? I mean, that's nothing against them, but that's not the same level or same league. You can, at that point, afford to play Georgia, Miami, Florida, Notre Dame, Alabama, Tennessee. Like, all of a sudden, every week, you're going, ooh, great game. Or at least good game. And that's great. Great for the local economy. It'd be awesome every week. You're going, look at that, Tennessee's coming to town. And next week we're going on the road to face Auburn. This is going to be great.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, because the economy just took a hit locally next year, more than just because we're middling to bad, because Notre Dame would have brought some dollars. And now those dollars will be replaced by Syracuse, no doubt, or some such team.
Let me tell you something. I've been waiting to play Notre Dame again since 52-3 last year. I have now got a special place of hate in my heart for that program. Those folks and the words spoken to me and my family as I left that stadium, not going to forget it very easily. We need to get right so that the next time we play Notre Dame, if I'm on these airwaves, I'm calling for ass-beaten Central. Throw the ball late up big. Let's go. Flea flickers, reverses, onside kicks, anything you can do to summarily kick them in the balls forevermore. Forevermore. Good work out of you. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., pregame show, Tom and myself, right here on the YouTube channel. Look forward to seeing all of you guys, and let's talk some Florida State Clemson tomorrow. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be well. Peace.